if I do.
Covino and Rich.
Are you ready? Honestly, how do I deal with you every day?
Get ready.
Turn on Dollar on the radio.
Get ready.
Whoa! Yeah!
Holy mother nugget! And holy mother meatball!
I'm the smartest man alive! You're so ridiculous. What? You're such a fool. Get out of here.
Oh, I'm a disc jockey.
What's a disc jockey?
Turn it up. Turn the show. Here we go. Covino and Rich.
Let's go!
Yeah, buddies. ¿Cómo estás? Hey, you're looking handsome today. Broke out a button-down shirt. Fucking playing button. Who's got the button? Rocking the buttons, bro. Isn't that the dog your brother killed? Buttons! Why would you bring up something so sensitive? Because it's way back on a Wednesday. Bringing back the button up. Covino and Rich, you button down, I button up. I'm on my way up. Who's coming with me? Steve Covino, Rich Davis, Spotty Boy, and you. Welcome to our Patreon. Halfway through the week. Hi, guys. Hope you had a Team Japan sort of Tuesday. Let's be rocking out. Let's go. Buttoned up, Steve. Buttoned up, but it's like flexy, bro. Flexy. Yeah.
The sleeves and the shirt are a different material.
Yeah, the shirt is like buttoned up, but the arms are flexy.
My day, they used to call that husky.
Nah, bro, you don't get it. You just don't get
I
it.
look at that shirt, and I'm thinking snaz.
I said to him, I'm like, you got a meeting today?
Yeah.
I tell you, that's a word I want to bring back. Like my grandfather used to love to use the word snazzy.
My face plans on meeting some cheeks today.
Snazzy.
Tonight. Anyway, thank you guys for being here on the Patreon. Hope you had a snazzy sort of Tuesday night. Congratulations to Team Japan. Man, the WBC was amazing. Talk about that later. Team USA so close. But man, what a great tournament that was. And I enjoyed watching every second of it. So hope you had a great Tuesday. We're going to have a great Wednesday. Lots of news to get to. Lots of snaz. And lots of random stories.
Snaz.
Just today. Today in itself has been random. Raining again. Rain.
Go away.
For real.
Come back another
It was
day.
so weird. I left my garage. Sunny. I'm like, oh, the rain's gone.
Here we go.
Start driving here. I'm like, oh, those clouds look ominous.
Bro, we're not even in April for the showers yet.
Dude. I pull over, or I pull out off the highway. Pouring.
Bro.
Rich, you got a storm cloud over your house.
For real, baby. They're putting your roof to the test.
I know. By the way, USA Japan, they're saying could be the most watched baseball game in history. They're doing the ratings as we speak just to try to get the numbers, but likely the most watched baseball game of all time.
Worldwide. I mean,
Isn't that wild?
It was a great game.
What does that say about baseball?
I think it says that if baseball makes the proper changes, you know, there's an intensity level that we see in the WBC.
To be honest, I don't think it says anything about baseball. I think it says that baseball globally is a bigger sport than we thought.
Right.
That's what it says.
And that people still care, and it's still a great game when there's passion and heart involved.
I feel like, don't we know this now? As the international players has started arriving about 15 years ago, didn't we figure that out, that it was huge internationally?
Yeah, but much like the NBA, where it was a United States sport, and then Michael Jordan, the Dream Team, Larry Bird, Magic Johnson, they brought the game globally, which is why you see stars like Luka and the Joker and all these guys, all these like Serbian and foreign European players, the Tony Parkers from France. Like, it became an international game. Baseball's been that way for a while. It's just, if there were no World Baseball Classic, you'd say, yeah, baseball ratings are okay. The World Series gets 10 to 20 million viewers. This shit's getting like 100 million viewers.
So people still care is the point. And what a great and intense game it was. And there's a new superstar. Not new, but he proved on a world stage that he is the guy. We're talking about Shohei Ohtani. So hope you had an Ohtani sort of Tuesday. Let's have a kick-ass Wednesday. And like I said, it started off random already. It was raining. It wasn't, but it is. It's been raining for 14 months now here in Los Angeles. And, you know, it's nonstop rain, but we needed it.
How long has it been raining?
Like a month?
No, more than that.
Seriously.
Way more than that.
It always okay. I know it rains in the winter. That's all I'm going to say. It hasn't rained. Never hasn't rained this much in our time here, but it always rains.
People
in the
that we
winter.
know that have been here their whole lives are saying this is like I don't remember anything like
I've
this.
never seen anything like it.
I've never
I've
seen
been here
anything
over
like
13 years.
and I love it. I love it.
But it
I
also
do.
shows you that, the earth needs what it needs.
Homeostasis, bro.
I mean,
California's like,
the
I need
earth-
water, bitches.
that's a good way to look at it. But I don't know if that's how it works. However, Sarah said,
I do think
This
it's
is,
how it
no,
works.
this is how the day after the tomorrow started. The day after
I don't
tomorrow.
know. What's that movie with Christian Slater where it rains and it doesn't stop and they're like everyone's like waist deep in water? Someone knows what I'm talking about. It's a Christian Slater like shitty movie from the 90s.
I remember
like
that.
Dark Rain. Is it Dark?
Gleaming the Cube.
No.
True Romance.
Is it Dark Rain?
Heathers.
Heathers.
Christian
Those are
Slater.
80s movies.
Christian Slater,
Christian Slater.
who was on our show, is a really nice guy. Hey guys, nice to meet you guys.
Hard Rain.
What I say? Did I say Hard
Dark,
Rain?
you said Dark Rain.
Dark Rain, motherfucker.
Pump up the volume.
Morgan Freeman. Betty White's in it.
You never saw that?
Randy
There.
Quaid.
I remember that movie.
It's a great movie.
I remember
Hard
it.
Rain.
It's like a shitty movie, but it's a great movie.
I remember it.
Hard Rain.
We had a nice time with Christian
Some
Slater.
hard rain this weekend.
I just remember
He should
Morgan
have been a way
Freeman.
bigger star, man.
I remember
he was a cool dude.
Morgan Freeman and
It's raining.
Christian Slater like waist deep in water trying to pull off some type of like heist or robbing something, or
How often does it rain?
Randy Quaid, like you said.
But yeah, Rich is right. It's been raining nonstop. So you wake up and you're like, raining again? And doggies don't want to go out and take shits because they don't want to sit in the rain. And you're sitting there in your flip-flops hoping they take a shit in the rain. It's just raining nonstop.
How often does it rain?
I don't like it.
Sarah said there's a lake.
But LA needs it.
There's a lake that was at 20% where it was like, yo, this lake is like getting down to nothing.
How about the LA River, which is at like 0%? Now it's just like,
But this lake.
people are like rafting in it now.
Hold on, I gotta look
saw a
this-
dude in a canoe.
I hope the dog doesn't fall in it again.
I saw people taking their kayaks into the LA River.
There is a lake.
Meanwhile, there's usually no water in the LA River.
Well,
Like a
when it
little
rains,
dribble.
there is.
Like a little stream.
There's a lake that was down to 20%, and now they're saying it's back to like full level. So this is good, I guess, in the big picture.
Yeah,
But
just this
I wrote
misery.
down, this is something I like to call, and it usually happens to Covino more than me, Daniel Murphy's Law. Is it Lake Mead? It might be Lake Mead. I feel like that's
No,
too
Lake-
big. Lake Mead's a bigger one. Yeah, this.
Lake Mead's it's still dry.
I think it's Lake
Titicaca. Titicaca. Hey. Titicaca.
But it's Daniel Murphy, right? When it's Murphy's Law?
Yeah.
So
No,
When
Eddie Murphy.
it's Eddie Murphy's Law?
Is that your Eddie Murphy?
I was going to try to do an Eddie Murphy laugh, and I was like, I just don't have it in me. No, it's more like a...
Sound like Revenge of the Nerds.
Yeah, it wasn't going to be good. Eddie Murphy's Law. When we redid our house, the one thing we were like, we don't really need that.
Lake Piru.
Lake Piru?
Peru or Piru. Lake Piru. Lake Piru overflows due to storms in Southern California.
Like a year ago, it was at 20%. There was talks about a year ago where it's like, yo, is it ever going to rain? Remember we couldn't, well, you don't know this because you don't have to worry about a fucking annoying front lawn and stuff. But there was a time where they were like very strict, like 1 to 2 times a week to water your lawn. And I was like, what about my rose bushes? Damn. But the one thing we didn't do on the house
It's a reservoir.
were we did not get new gutters yet.
I've lived through droughts, though. Don't you remember when
Yeah.
Art, my neighbor, was trying to steal my water on my front lawn? He would come to the spigot.
What are you doing, Art?
Yeah.
I have a question. Can
I think
you
I called him something else, though.
Can you like call LADWP and be like, there's a lot of water coming down. Is my water gonna be cheaper?
Can I reverse the bill a little bit now?
What's the name of it?
Piru. Lake Piru.
Piru.
But we did not get gutters on our house. It's the one thing we didn't get. And our contractor and everyone around here was like, get them when you get around to it, get gutters when you get around to it. Because there's no urgency. It's like it never rains here. So when you get around to it, get gutters. And like it's not doing any damage to my house. It just the whole exterior of my house just has one big like It's like a wall of rain around my house because I don't have gutters. So if you look at the exterior of my house, at any time, there's just like rain falling off everywhere.
Nonstop.
Non-stop.
I've never seen anything like it in my life.
Last night,
Let alone in LA.
did you see the hail?
It's like we're in Seattle. I'm like skedaddle.
Last night, I
I'm
looked
in Los
out.
Angeles.
I looked at my back porch, and I said, "Yeah, the water's so much. It's not even going down the drain. It's what the fuck is going on?" And Sarah and I went in the yard and Spot play the video because I was like, "What is all that? What's all this like weird shit? Is that ice? What the hell is going on? Hail? Look at me.
Is it hail?
It's like ice. It's icy rain. Little pellets.
Aren't even going down.
It's a hailstorm, Lizzie Hale style.
Jeez.
Jeez.
What the hell is going on?
Yeah, but it was like little ice pellets everywhere.
Hail?
Very
Trains aren't even going
On-
rare
Uncharacteristic,
for
yeah.
Southern California. I haven't seen anything like it ever in my life, let alone here, like I said. So another rainy day.
It snowed recently.
Yeah.
Now it's hailing. I'm telling you. Day after tomorrow. Watch the movie.
Could have made a snow cone in the backyard last night. Watch Hard Rain with Morgan Freeman and Christian Slater, and
It's raining.
it's really raining.
It's hard. Watch
I
out. The
can't
rain is
believe all
hard.
this rain. Christian Slater.
Well, it's a lot of rain, I
It's
say.
a lot of rain. Hard rain.
How often does it rain?
Every day, Morgan.
So anyway, raining again. I'm like, come on, doggy. Take your shit. It's raining out.
It's rain.
One of those days.
Today,
And then-
yesterday is the day. You got to set the wee pad right inside the door. Like, hey, you don't have to go out today, buddy.
Nah, I'm not trying to create bad habits for this little guy.
You made him go out in the rain?
Fuck yeah. Get your doggy ass in the rain.
I got wet dog smell.
If I got to sit out here in my fucking Asian sandals, you better take a shit out in the rain. And he didn't. So anyway,
Yeah, but okay.
I can let him fucking start shitting and peeing in the house again. Trying to get past that.
Oh, I know, but I'm saying like I'd rather be like, hey, poop on this little pad over here than a wet dog. Like a wet dog.
That's why you got banana shits everywhere.
Sarah and I always talk about how there's nothing worse than a wet dog.
Wet dogs are weak.
Wet dog. There's nothing like you could be an
I'll
animal
tell you
lover.
one thing worse than a wet dog is always a wet sock.
Yeah. But we were on the beach in Mexico. We saw some people with their dogs on the beach, and Sarah and I said, there's nothing grosser to us than like a wet, sandy dog. I don't know why people think that's like fun. Like, what a fucking gross
The
adventure.
dog wants to have fun.
No, but I'm saying,
Maybe.
like, as a human, you don't look at that and say, fucking wet, sandy dog on the beach. Like, that's fucking
Some
gross.
people love their fucking dog and they want them to have fun.
Gross.
You know, I get it. I don't want that wet dog, but he's got to go out.
Yeah.
Do his business. So, you know, then I got to make my little breakfast for Melody. She's getting ready with her little teen attitude. Piatna mana. Like, I care. Just trying to get her to school on time. You know the feeling. I don't care if you're late. You're the one that's got to deal with it. Let's go. So I'm doing her little breakfast thing.
At least she's going to school.
Yeah, she's
My
still in
kids are
school.
running around. There's a strike for a couple days.
Yeah, there's like a 3-day thing going on here in LA. Somehow Melody School's not affected. Don't know how, don't know why. So getting ready for school. She tells me these crazy stories about her friends that I want to hear about. Getting crazier and crazier as she gets older. You know, I'm like, well, you keep your goals in line. You keep doing what you do and do good in school.
What freaks you out
Melody
more?
straight A's again.
What freaks you out more?
I'm sorry, she got a B+ in gym.
Hearing.
How do you get a B+ in gym?
I know.
She's a girl that probably just walks the track. Like, I don't care.
Well, they expect
Participation?
No, she participates, but there's specific requirements that they go by, and it's not like just being prepared. It's like
she
you don't have a
inherit-
7-minute mile. Like for a girl her age,
That's a lot.
I think that's low. It's like 7.5-minute mile or something like that.
The lowest
But
I
it's
ever
7
got
minutes.
was like 15.
Yeah, I'm like I'm not just saying for a girl. I'm just saying especially for a little girl. It's usually the skinny fucking boy that's running that at that age, right? It just seems like
Maybe like 8 to 10 minutes would be standard for a
Yeah.
girl at that age, right?
That's what I thought. But there's certain things, and if you're not hitting it, then you're not going to get that A.
Well, do the math. What is a 4.0 on a treadmill? That's like a
That's what I always
12-minute
say.
mile, right? A 12-minute mile is 4.0 on a treadmill. Isn't it like 10 minutes is a 5.0 on a treadmill or something like that?
I always say if you're not hitting it, you're not going to get that A.
Yeah.
So she got all A's, you know, like keep your goals intact. Don't be like your friends or their parents because they're all terrible.
Did she
Just keep doing you and be like that.
Did she inherit your archery skills? Maybe that's why.
Yeah, she's not good at that.
This semester was archery and she failed.
And then, you're driving your kid to school. I'm playing yacht rock. I need you like the flowers, Mr. Rain. I need you. She's like, Dad, what is this? It's yacht rock, Melody. Something else I'm going to introduce you to. Get ready. Doom, 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 doom. Boom, doom, boom, doom, 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 doom. So, I'm in that way back Wednesday yacht rock kind of mood. And she's doing, again, her teenage thing. All I want is clear skin, Dad. I'm like, yeah, I want abs, Melody. What do you want from me? Like, sometimes, it's just not going to work out that way.
Gotta lay off the chocolate.
Yeah. You are what you eat. You know all the rules. You're just giving your kid the rules.
Like making up shit.
Yeah, like if I take you to a dermatologist, they're going to say, clean your face. Don't scrub it.
Get her some Noxema.
Some sea breeze way back on a Wednesday.
You need some astringent, Melody.
Clean your pillowcases. Drink lots of water. And the more, here's God's curse on you, Melody. I don't know why these are the rules, but the more you worry and stress about it, the worse it gets. And the more you pick on it, the worse it gets. So forget about it, leave it alone. It's always the dirt merchant kids who never washed their face that didn't have any pimples.
You should say, Melody, look at the positive is you're a girl, so you could cover up something if it's bad. A boy has to be like, I got a pimple.
It's not bad at all either. It's like, you don't understand what it does to me, Dad. And it's like, I'm just too early for this. Listen to Todd Rundgren.
I had terrible acne at one point.
Yeah,
I was on Accutane.
I was like, you see Rich when he was a kid?
Look at him now.
And you're complaining?
Come on. Have you ever taken a high prescription acne medicine?
No. Never had. Of course I had pimples, but never like a bad issue with it.
Oh, I did. I was in college, freshman year, I believe, I took Accutane, which has since been pulled because it had kids like depressed and thinking about like suicide and stuff. Like, if anyone else knows what I'm talking about, Accutane.
I've had this conversation with Layla. I'm like, hey, can you take her to the dermatologist on X day, Y day? Because I'm working. And she's like, they're just going to put her on Accutane. And no, I'm not doing that. Because it's not really that good.
It worked,
but she doesn't need it. That's the thing.
Okay, I'm saying it worked.
But she doesn't need it. Like, she has a pimple, big deal. Kids today don't know how to cope. That's really what it is. Like, you're going to have pimples. I'm almost 50. I still get pimples. But I need clear skin, Dad. I'm like, Dad needs abs, Melody. Like I said, do better. Stop eating sugar.
Can't always get what you want.
Yeah. I'm like, what are you going to do? I gave her all the rules. So you're giving Dad rules and Dad advice all the time, taking her to school. Like, relax and listen to the Little River Band.
Something we don't, not that we don't talk about enough because there's no reason to talk about it, but I feel like a big part of my preteens and teenage years was stressing and trying to find every pimple remedy possible. Accutane, Seabreeze, Clearasil, Oxy pads. I tried everything possible. I had bad skin for a while. I don't even have a picture.
You've talked about it. You always say you wore big goofy glasses and you had bad acne.
Like bad pimples.
Like acne is different. Melody gets a pimple here and there. She had one moment where her forehead got a little bad, but no. But then she's comparing like any teenage kid, comparing herself to some like Asian girl with like perfect skin. I'm like, the one kid in school, come on, Melody, get over it.
Stupid Asians.
Suck it up.
Stupid Asians.
Have a backbone.
And they win the World Baseball Classic.
And you try to come up with some story that you had. One day Dad had this big date and I had one right on my nose. I don't know. You just start making shit up. Did it go away, Dad? Yeah, eventually, Melody. So you're giving all your dad lessons and she's complaining and I'm trying to relax to the Little River Band and all my yacht rock classics. I'm like, Melody, stop complaining and listen to Michael McDonald, will you?
Yeah, by the way, Mike is right. I've done everything. I even tried, remember when you would put toothpaste on a pimple?
Oh, yeah.
To try to dry it out?
Now they got those little patches. They work, by the way. You know the patches?
I don't know. I haven't had pimples in 25 years.
You don't even know what I'm talking about?
No.
Oh, man.
How would I answer that question?
You are bonkers.
If I was in college, I took Accutane and I went from having terrible acne and it sort of went away.
Look, I talked to my buddy Gus last night.
How would I know about that?
He's one of my best friends.
It's like you not knowing Bluey. You don't have a 4-year-old.
I do know these things because I try to stay aware of things. My buddy Gus was like, "Oh, the World Baseball Classic that was on." I'm like, "Yeah, man, you missed it." Anyway, I'm gonna go watch The Mandalorian. He's like, "Oh wait, that's back?" I'm like, "Yeah, 4 weeks ago, bud. If it wasn't for me, you wouldn't know jack diddly squat." He's like, "The kid we graduated with?" I'm like, "Yeah, I'm glad you remember him, but you didn't know about Mandalorian?" So, Mandalorian episode 3 sucked my ball sack.
Borchler and Mandalorian? Like, what's going on?
Dude, it was a rare, boring episode. But anyway, I had a point. Now I forget what it was.
Oh, that you wanted to take proactive with Angela from Who's the Boss?
They have these skin patches.
Yeah.
And they sell them by the sleeve, kind of. Remember those little dots you would get way back on a Wednesday with candy?
Are these the ones that look like
candy
stars?
dots?
Is this sort of the same thing where you're trying to get rid of like a corn on your foot? Or like a callus? Like those type of things?
And
like the little
little
Band-Aid?
stickers that go on your face.
Same concept,
I'm
yeah.
not saying decorative because there's that as well. Girls
Yeah,
are
they
wearing
look
now
like
stickers
stars.
on their face
Yeah,
to
I've seen
cover
that.
their pimples.
I've seen that.
Actual stickers, like decorative.
How did it take someone so long to figure that out?
Yeah, I don't know. So they
Okay,
roll
get a
with that.
preteen girl, give her a fucking heart sticker to put over a pimple.
There's clear patches that you put over a pimple. The next day you wake it up and it sucks out all the infection, all the goo. And it's on the little patch.
What?
And it's gone overnight. Yeah. And it works. That's the craziest part about it. It works. I've used them. I do use them. If I have one coming, go to bed with one of these little bad boys on, peel it off the next day. You see it. It's on it. Like whatever got out of it is on it. Like, whoa.
It's like those little, like the little circle Band-Aids I've seen for corns and I've seen for like a wart. But
I don't know what they're called.
never for a pimple, but
Like
that
pimple
seems,
patches.
I'll be honest, I feel naive right now. Not
It's
realizing.
been a thing for a minute.
Oh yeah, I guess, why would I, right?
But
It's like if it's
like
not in
Sarah
your,
get like random
she has Sarah
cosmetic things in the mail.
No.
No. Jordan gets
No,
tons
it's
of
only
that
your
shit.
house.
Oh, Jordan gets like all kinds of stuff.
Sarah goes to Ulta or Sephora like once a year and like stocks up on everything she needs because I'm like, how much? But yeah, no, Sarah has like her regimen. Not to be all over the place, but do you have a multi-step process at night with Jordan for your skin?
Oh.
Oh.
I don't like, again, I subscribe to the more you worry about it, the worse it is. I try not to worry about it. I mean, I do have a process.
No, but I'm saying not a worry about it. I'm saying just not pimples. I'm saying, do you have a nightly like, here's what you do?
I just have my own routine, a little, what's it called? My salad water?
Sarah,
A little
I bury-
scrubby dub.
I bury my face in an ass every night.
Yeah, I mean, you rub your face in a cheek here and there.
Sarah
You know what?
follows an Asian routine because she's convinced that Asian women have all the fucking tricks.
Kristen.
She's like Asian people.
Bet you Asian people came up with these pimple patches.
She goes look at Asian people's skin. They're
So
doing
s-
something. So she's like,
Told you. So Melody's comparing herself to the one little perfect skin Asian girl.
I'm sure it also starts from within, meaning it's in their diet, it's in genetics.
Yeah, I'm like, Melody, stop eating Takis. Maybe that's the reason.
I don't think it's necessarily.
but I love
their skin regimen.
I'm so emotional. Emotional teen.
So
Kristen's constantly moisturizing. Constantly.
I got a
yeah, I use moisturizer every night.
Constantly.
Jordan gives me all these serums. So to answer your question, the answer is yes. but
4-step
like,
process every night.
it's not like I have a
hold on.
proactive 4-step solution that I use.
Oh, you want me to get the products and show you?
Oh, I
like
would
give me an
lo-
infomer.
yes.
I could show you what it's all about.
I mean, I guess.
Yeah, I don't have to show
Channel
you.
your best share.
Oh, what the fuck? I'll show you. Hold on.
I mean, I use like whatever face wash I have, which
This
is
is
like
exciting.
Cetaphil or something. Then I'll use an astringent,
Cetaphil,
which
that's
is
the one.
usually some sort of witch hazel or micellar water or whatever. Wash my face off with that, and then I'll use whatever, depending on the time of day. Jordan's like, in the morning, use the vitamin C serum, and I use the vitamin C serum, and at night use the other one with the anti-wrinkle stuff, and then sometimes I'll put in Egyptian magic, like Vaseline my face all up, like I'm ready for a fight. I'm like, and then Jordan would yell at me because you use too much. Your face can only absorb so much. So yeah, I mean, I got my routine, but not like a 4-step program that I'm on or anything like that.
I put face cream on my face after I shower.
Yeah.
That's it.
So
She's like, do you want one that's more like lotiony or one that's more like water based? And I'm like, oh, I can take the water based. I'm already oily.
I do like that
That's
Egyptian magic though. And Rich actually turned me on to that.
I feel like we need
Oh, so to answer your
Good
question, then,
infomercial music.
yes, Rich. But I thought you had like a 4-step program that you go by. Like I start off with this.
Yeah.
No, but it's all different products.
No, but it's a Sarah.
I
gave me
get
a-
it,
yeah.
but I thought you like were part of a proactive Judith Light program where step 1.
No, Sarah goes to Ulta. When I say once a year, a little facetious, but it was like once a year, couple $1,000 type of thing. Like
Yeah,
she,
like once a month at least.
So I start out with these are just like they look like oxy pads, but they're just a cleansing pad.
Okay.
So clean the skin off with a little cleansing pad. Then this
Sounds expensive. You buy
Is
cotton
a-
pads and probably use the same stuff.
it's a moisturizing skincare program. This is a facial toner. I then use the facial toner. So wipe with the pad,
Is that what you mean when you set the tone?
facial toner. Then a little one eyedropper. I don't know what it says because it's in Asian. I think it's in like Japanese.
Hold on.
But it's like a snail oil. Following is a paid program. And then I don't know if
Need
this
something
is really
some like-
snail,
some like,
but this is
smooth
snail.
jazz.
Advanced Snail 92, all for one. It's snail mucus. It creates glowing, healthy skin. Formula 92% snail secretion.
It's got a snail trail on your is
I do.
that a snail trail on your face?
believe so.
Or were you just getting down with Sarah?
Snail 92. I said, Sarah, I mean, is that just the name of it? This can't really be. She goes, it's snail secretion. It's so I guess I'm putting snail jizz on my face.
Mm-hmm.
Well, you should get that.
Snail secretion.
You should get that foreskin treatment that like celebrities use. Remember
It's like
that?
it's like sticky, gooey
I'm sure it is.
goo. It's like sticky goo.
Yeah. Fucking snail jizz.
Yeah, I guess I'm putting snail jizz.
Yeah. So to answer your question again, no, I don't. I don't do all this stuff.
So I do. Yeah, it's a 4 steps. So I do that every night, and it's snail jizz. Yeah, snail jizz.
Well, no, the snails.
Snail
when they-
secretion. What is
yeah,
that?
Whatever the snail, like when snails move and the snail trail, the snails leave that little goo behind.
They bottle it. They sell it to white
I
women.
guess they like,
It's their pre-jizz.
yeah, it's the snails. That's how they slide across everything.
So
Why don't
know,
you just go outside and pick up some snails?
It rained. There's probably a lot of them. I could make some money.
So Melody's
rub 'em on your face.
always complaining about that. You don't understand. I'm like, yes, I do. You know, I'm a grown man boy. I remember worrying about my skin all the time. I still do.
Snail jizz, bro. I'm gonna be old. You'll be like, Rich, how do you look so great? Snail jizz.
Thank my mom. Keeps my skin looking young.
Must be good.
Oh yeah, you got to try, right? You got to try to.
You gotta fight the fight.
Yeah.
Well, here, my wife always said that if you want great skin as a 40-year-old, you had to start when you were like 20. So
Or
always
just identify as Asian.
or identify as Asian.
Yeah.
Because when you're young, so you should tell this to Melody. I'm sure she knows, but you should tell this to Melody. Start now. Use anti-wrinkle creams. Use all this stuff because once the damage is done, it's too late. You can't reverse aging, no matter what those commercials say.
You
Hyaluronic acid.
tape your face. Tape your face back.
Yeah.
Oh.
So
You know, if you think I look Asian now, imagine me after a few surgeries.
have her rub down.
Oh, after
know,
a little Botox, you're gonna look like
Like,
you're gonna look like Wayne Newton.
Yeah.
He's giving us like, oh.
And if I keep gaining weight, I'm looking like Buddha. Lose my hair. I'm like, oh my God.
So hey, look at that little skincare. Who thought we
the
talking
point
about
is,
that?
Find one that works for you and stick with it and maintain. You know, there's no crime in that. Nothing like foofy boy about trying to look your best. I know there's a stigma there, but I think you're lame if you don't care.
Yeah, snail
And-
jizz is the answer. Is the
I'm driving and I'm like, Melody, relax and listen to another good one. Listen to Kenny Loggins, Seals and Croft. Listen, enjoy. Stop worrying. You know, just listen to the yacht rock. It's also known as soft classic rock. But Dad, you don't got it. My scalp. And meanwhile, you don't see anything. That's the most annoying part about it. And then you drop her off, and there's all these little troll-looking kids. I'm like, you could look like that kid. You should be thankful.
look at this troll.
You know, if Mom and Dad did anything good for you, We made you good looking. Now get out of here and stop complaining.
You already have an advantage. You're a cute kid.
Look at that kid. Look at that kid. And you're complaining. Look at that kid. Kid's walking by like, hi, Melody. Hi, Melody. And you're like, and you're complaining? I don't want to hear it. Dad's listening to Yacht Rock. So that was my morning.
I'm listening to the Little River Band, and you're complaining about your skin.
Then I, just to show you where I'm at in life.
You got hemorrhoids?
I was hocking up a slug, man. A Marsha Fudge. I had a Marsha Fudge going on. I'm like, I'm getting sick. Rich has what I call, I'm actually feeling better, but Rich has what I call permacough.
I have the liquid Tod.
Hey, Chris Gray Sox. Rich has been coughing for a year straight.
Yeah.
Nonstop.
Disgusting.
It's like a weird habit now. And he has like cough Tourette's.
I do.
It's I'm getting
Tod.
over a cold.
Do you have post-nasal drip? I don't know what that is, but I know my mother would always talk about it, and my brother definitely has it.
Oh, your
because he is
brother
constantly.
Your brother is a post.
Phlegmy.
Yeah, your brother
Rich has pre and post.
Either that, or he caught or he created some sort of rare disease.
You know what's
in
fun?
the 90s when he was banging everything that moved.
My brother, Top Jim, was always doing that Covino, like
the only drip that Rich got.
what was that? That thing Covino always does where he clears his throat.
Yeah,
No, bro, that was my allergies.
Yeah, but what is that when you do the little
throat
What I
goblin?
call the little piggy.
Little throat goblin
give
clear.
an example? So, yeah, that type of thing. My brother would do that all the time, and my mother's answer, my brother's answer. The doctor went to an ear, nose, and throat specialist, and Jimmy had post-nasal drip.
I agree with Bill Jackson, Cole Maxon, and Relaxin, and Alex Berman. Long COVID, because this guy's been coughing nonstop since.
Yeah, you always,
Maybe before, but I know
That's the thing.
You always talk about the morning shower you take to like clear out your head. We live in the desert. I wake up and I feel like I'm pretty dry. Like my nasal passages are clear. If I'm sick, I know that's how I know I'm sick, because I'm stuffy. But outside of that,
You sound stuffy right now. You sick?
I didn't sleep well last night.
But you sound stuffy.
But I'm very.
I hear
Clear.
fucking residue.
I mean, that's
some
just-
residue.
I just have a wet nose.
Okay.
From
Buried in places.
buried in an ass.
I don't know, man. I don't
So
know.
I'm like, Melody, just enjoy Jerry Rafferty and relax.
Oh, Jerry.
This song's called Baker Street, okay? Everything's going to be all right.
Did you ever play with the Foo Fighters version?
And if you don't like this one, I mean, I got Dan Fogelberg on standby, all right? Dan Fogelberg will make your morning better.
I want to hear it.
Relax.
I wanna hear
So,
it.
that.
You mean Dan?
Oh, and you gotta stop giving me all this bad food. It just makes it worse. I'm like, you know what? You're lucky Dad even gives you food. I had one of those mornings, but it was all good. You know, I had a nice day with Melody yesterday. We went to Joann's and bought crafts for her school project. Thank you, Dad.
It's a beautiful song, by the way.
Yeah, like Melody, you're worried about your pimples? Listen to this and shut up. That's how I felt. It's raining. She's yapping. And
Not that date, Dad.
I feel a Marsha Fudge slug coming out. I am in love with you. Right? So you have to pull up and drop your kid off. So there's a long line of cars. And I'm like, and I don't think twice about it. I'm a grown-ass man and a grown-ass man. Yeah. I open up my driver's side door and I just let the slug out. I'm like, bleh. Melody's like, oh my God, Dad, did you have? Then she has a total flip out. And the moral of the story here is I'm at the stage of life where every little thing embarrasses your kid. I get it. She's like, everyone saw. And I'm like, no one saw.
It's raining.
I opened up the door.
You think anyone's...
I hocked out a slug. And she's like, everyone, there's a whole line of people behind us. They all saw. Why did you have to do that? You're so embarrassing, Dad. You're so embarrassing. It was so embarrassing about Baker Street. The flutes embarrass you? She was so mortified that I hocked a slug out the car,
It's
not out the
very
window.
disgusting.
Dude, I had to. I didn't think about it. I just, hey, I had to. Sorry, I didn't mean to embarrass you. And it's like every little thing. And then I'm like, well, you better get out because you're going to be late. You better start walking. No, Dad, because that's embarrassing. I'm like, getting out? And walking is embarrassing. I was like, what about that kid? Is he embarrassing? Yeah, he's the worst. I hate that kid. I'm like,
Oh, I don't get it. What do you mean? What's bad about? She wanted what?
I'm at the stage where every little thing is embarrassing because kids are the worst. You know why she's worried about her skin? Because kids say stupid things. Like Melody, what's with the pimples? And they suck balls, you know? Or like a little kid will be like, I saw your dad spitting out the car. Little kids are the worst. So
Kids might be worse now then, because I don't remember this stage, to be honest.
I
just remember my parents, if they did
you
something.
never heard of teenage kids being embarrassed
No,
by
I'm
things?
saying like, I'm just saying like, I feel like kids are always sucky. Yeah, I guess you're right. I was embarrassed with my parents at times, but
kids say things like, Melody, you got pimples.
I don't remember
Okay,
being
any other thoughts in your stupid brain, you dumb fuckhead?
I don't remember being embarrassed about silly things.
No, because then it makes your kid feel bad. Because this kid has no thoughts to share. He's just staring at my daughter thinking, she's got a pimple. I guess I'll tell her. And makes her feel bad. So then this morning, I hock a slug. She's embarrassed. Then I'm like, well, get out. Get out of here. then.
disgusting.
If you don't like dad and his habits and my music, beat it. Get out because you're going to be late now. You're going to be late because you waited last minute putting your makeup on. Go.
Now you got to break out tomorrow to embarrass her?
What?
Fresh off this season of The Bachelor. Got to do the farmer blow.
Oh, I saw that.
I'm sorry, what?
Farmer blow.
One of the girls is like a Southern girl. She's like, oh, pardon me. I got to do the farmer blow. I'm like, the farmer blow? Essentially a snot rocket when you cover one nostril and do a...
That's disgusting.
Snot
Like people
rocket.
that
That's what I said. Melody, I could have did a snot rocket. How do you feel about that?
Dad, I'm going to do the... Dad,
And by the
don't
way,
do the farmer blow.
You're embarrassed of me? What about that dad over there in his sweatpants?
people
You
that
should be embarrassed of that guy.
expel their bodily fluids in public are
Go,
disgusting.
dude, I'm sick. I was getting over it. I didn't even think about it. So, you don't want to embarrass your kid ever.
Hocking loogies, spitting, snot rockets. It's like, grow up. Are you a child? Children do this. Children do this.
Yeah.
Children are supposed to be snotty and sticky. Not adults. You're civilized.
Then I'm like, well, go out and walk. Walking is embarrassing, Dad. I'm like, what do you mean embarrassing? Just get out. Go. You're going to be late. I'll wait. And then she was, waiting for me just to drive her to the proper spot instead of just getting out.
Oh, she didn't want to walk like the 20 feet because she's like, she wanted the escort service right to the front.
Embarrassing.
So embarrassing.
Some fucking little shit. I'll be like, Melody, I saw you walking earlier today. And like, I don't know what that's about. I don't know why a kid would say stupid things. They got nothing else to say.
Then again, aren't you in the walls of all the kids? Aren't you like sort of?
Yeah,
You're the cool dad.
I am the cool dad, and all our friends love me, but like everything's embarrassing. So embarrassing your kid. She was mortified that I hocked a slug, and I get it. That was kind of weak, but no one saw. And that was my morning.
Let me ask you this, because I know that we all go through phases, and you expect it. No matter how cool you are, your kids are gonna have moments where they're like, Dad, Mom, oh my God. Your kids are gonna be embarrassed at times. I get it. That makes sense. But I know it's much like trying to teach your kid about heartache. You got to experience it.
If you have heartache, just listen to Ambrosia. They'll tell you all about it. But you feel better.
If you're going through some heartache, some older person could have told you as a teen.
How much I feel for you, baby.
That's how much
She's like,
I feel.
Dad, stop it. And I'm like, Melody, I'm just trying to teach you a lesson. It's called Yacht Rock.
But if you were going through your high school breakups and heartache, no matter what an older person told you, Uncle Joe, your mom, anyone could be like, hey, babe, it's going to be okay. You would have been like, it's not going to be okay. You don't understand. Yeah, so a kid will never.
Nope.
But I feel like my goal in everything is to always try to be like, hey, listen.
Why can't I look like her? Because you're not Asian. Do you want to be Asian? Be Asian then, Melody. Be trans Asian.
No,
I
identify.
don't know what to tell you. I don't know what to tell you. We'll stop at the pharmacy. We'll get you something later. What do you want from me?
Tell her that as a
Get
kid.
you Noxema.
As a kid, you used to look Asian?
Yeah.
tell
They
her
used
that?
to, you know what they used to call me when I was a kid, Melody? I can't even say it now because it's politically incorrect.
I will say.
And I passed that down to you.
I will say. I think about all the time the years wasted.
Why do I gotta have to have a round head dad like you?
The
You know, we come from a long line of round-headed people.
You're
That's
a round-headed kid.
That's
What do you
why.
want?
What do you want from me? You want a square head? You want a square head? You want a triangle head like that moron over there?
Who is the round heads in your family?
I don't know. I'm just kidding.
I I'm more of a Bert. He's more of an Ernie. He's more of a Stewie.
Dude, anyone next to you, you're a beaker head. Anyone next to you has a round head.
Okay, Stewie, football head. So I think of how many years were wasted caring about what some insignificant Guido thought.
Yeah.
And I look back and I talked about this with my friend Christina the other day because she was very similar conversations I had with Christina because her daughter's, I believe, like 11 or 12 now, right? So I'm like, how's Leah doing? She's like, oh, she's like 16 trapped in a 12-year-old, 11 and 12-year-old. And she's asking me all these questions and inappropriate and her friends, same things you're saying. And we were talking about how, like, what made someone cool or popular and why we respected that.
Close.
Like, if there was a kid that had a new car and had expensive clothes, we thought they were cool. And looking back, not to sound mean, but like that ugly kid, we were intimidated by that short, ugly Italian kid who, just because his parents got him an Audi and he had a bunch of Cavaricis, like that was the popular kid?
Yeah, Melody
Like who?
is a really good looking kid. She's really lucky. She's really cute and she's talented. And then she'll show me pictures like, look how skinny she is. And I'm like, this girl, no offense, is not a cute kid. Like, give me a break, Melody. Get out of my face.
I'd be careful with talking like that, though.
I'm saying,
No, I know, but I'm saying
I'm
like,
not putting down other kids to her. I'm like, Melody, come on. Like, be grateful for all your gifts and you're very fortunate. Get out of here with your complaints. I don't talk to Melody about that, but she'll say those things to me. You know, look at this kid. How old do you think she looks? Why do I still look like I'm 11? Yeah, like, you're like, Melody, get out of my face.
I feel like I'm not, because I know you're a good dad, but I feel like this type of area, your patience level isn't what it. Like I feel like your patience level for your
very surprised
for your good-looking little kid to complain about her pimples and this and that. I feel like your patience level is probably like.
Yeah, I know. She has to toughen up. You know, she has to. Life's tough. You're gonna be crying about your pimples? Fuck out of here. You know, Dad will do what I can to help you, and I'll give you advice. But like, you're gonna cry. I'm just gonna turn the music louder. That's how much I feel. You know, and I'm trying to have fun, man. And like, you know, she's like, Dad, you have ADD. You can't pay attention more than 5 seconds. I'm like, I know. But we didn't diagnose every little thing when I was a kid. She's like, Dad, I think you're on the spectrum. I'm like, I might be. I might be.
She might have a point.
But
I mean, it's likely. Ay, Dios mío.
So anyway, you know, of course I'm exaggerating it, but you know, everything's dramatic and embarrassing, and it's actually kind of funny. And then 3 seconds later, though, here's the amazing part about it. 3 seconds later, she's like this. You know, like is it Stan Laurel? Who's the one with the face?
Of Laurel and Hardy?
It's Stan Laurel, right? She's sitting there with a smirk, fucking texting away at her friends. I'm like, you were just complaining like your world was ending literally 10 seconds ago, and now you're sitting there smiling, giggling at a text? Who's texting you? No one? Why are you smiling like that? 10 seconds later, bye, Dad. It's all over. That's the most annoying part about it.
I have a lesson for you.
So embarrassing your kid, that's the stage. She's mortified by Dad sometimes.
I have
but
a
Dad's
lesson.
going to be Dad.
A lesson for you that maybe you've thought of already. Maybe you haven't. I don't know. I think this might be effective, to be honest. Because we live in a world now that you could be like, well, you know, other generations didn't do that because they didn't have the ability to because of social media. Have you ever thought about, I know you probably say like, yeah, I keep that shit separate. But have you ever thought of showing Melody some of like the rude shit people say about you on social media and be like, yo, Dad's the coolest guy. There's always going to be assholes, Melody. Look at this guy criticizing what I do. Like, and look at Dad. I'm confident. I fucking know that I'm the man. Melody, you're a great kid. Who cares what that little fucking shit says or that kid? Dad, who is on the radio, TV, does all these things. Like, people till this day say dumb shit about me.
Yeah,
you ever think about trying to, no, but I'm saying you ever think about being like Melody? It doesn't stop. You just have to
I don't
realize
think I've
it.
showed her, but I've definitely told her.
You're like, Melody.
People shit on your dad all the time.
Like, it's not going to stop. You just need to realize at a young age, it doesn't matter because there's kids that harm themselves. There's kids that have all depressing thoughts because they take that shit like way serious. So
I
I don't
like-
know. I'm saying maybe you're in a unique position for a teaching lesson because not many people are like, I have all this hate on social media. Go to Twitter and be like, all right, Melody, let me scroll one time. Look at this guy. Steve Covino is a piece of shit. Do you think I let that bother me from this nerd? Like, you should give her a little Covino lesson.
Look at his Spot Center.
That's funny.
No,
So
I mean-
I sent her on her way. Hey, make it a good day. Gave her, a little fist bump. She slammed the door, and I put on some Hall & Oates. She's gone. Oh, why? We gotta learn how to say she's gone. But
Gone.
I'm just happy that Melody's out of the car. She's gone. Oh, why? Some yacht rocking all day. So anyway,
Now you got me in this mood. I feel like I want to listen to yacht rock all day. It's a perfect weather too, because it's like overcast. This is like the right music, right soundtrack.
yeah. So why I'm doing everything right. Why do I have bad skin? I don't know. Teenage hormones. What do you want from me? But again, it's more funny than it is aggravating. And I think Melody gets frustrated because I really am singing Hall & Oates. So that was my morning.
You could tell Melody, there's other kids whose parents don't let them have a phone. Melody, there's parents that don't let their
and they're nerds, Dad.
there are parents out there that don't let their hairy little Greek or Italian daughter like shave their legs. Like there's parents that are doing nothing to help their kids. Melody, I'm doing everything I can to make you have a cool, awesome life.
Yeah, I try to help. I do try to.
I
help.
always felt bad for that little
Yeah, I
foreign
realized
kid.
too. Her mom's hands are full with 2 other kids. Yeah. So I probably am taking a lot more of a.
Those moments,
I don't want to say the brunt of it, but maybe I am.
more of a role.
More of a role in those things. Like, man, do my best.
Yeah, I always did feel bad for those kids though. Do you remember the kids in school? Like it would be like the unibrow kid or the girl with the hairy legs, and you're like, her parents suck. What parent doesn't identify like, all right, my 10 or 12-year-old kid has hairy like foreign legs, and they don't let their daughter shave their legs. Don't you feel like that is a disservice? Like all you're doing is you're making your kid a target. Like if you were a little Italian kid or a little Indian kid or something, and God forbid your daughter had a fucking unibrow.
Everybody has those feelings.
But wouldn't you be like,
even though I had everything handed to me on a silver platter, I still like resent my parents for getting me weak ass haircuts until I finally got like my first fade. Like, why would you let them cut my hair like that for all those years?
yeah, hey, parents are just doing their best. You always remember that. But the reality is, like I said, there's parents that do very little to help their kids' life, and I feel like you're very in the know to like keep, I feel like you're handling this stage good with Melody from what you're saying. There's a lot of parents that do nothing. There's parents that.
So when I pick her up today, I'm going to give her a lesson on Gordon Lightfoot and Christopher Cross, just to really round out the day.
Yeah.
So anyway, and then hope that she's smiling when she's walking out of school. She's like, oh, I hope she had a good day.
Bill has a good example. He goes, there was a girl whose parents didn't let her use deodorant when she was in junior high. She was going through puberty and everything. And like, imagine that. Imagine like a kid going through puberty and their parents don't let them use deodorant, shave their legs, trim up. Like it's like the boy who has the little mustache because he's like embarrassed to be like, Dad, could I like shave my little whiskers?
Usually the foreign parents.
Don't work against your kid.
Don't be a foreign parent.
I mean, I have no experience with older kids, but all I'm going to say is as time goes on, I'm going to do nothing to work against my kid. I'll tell you that. Like if your son or daughter has an issue, fucking help them.
Yeah, definitely.
All right.
Be there for them. So I hope your morning was good. Way back on a Wednesday, I hope you could relate to some of that stuff too. We all went through it. Dad had pimples. Not that bad, but I had them.
But even things like you were saying, like I never bought. You know how I got deodorant for the first time? I bought it because my parents didn't even have the insight to be like, maybe we should get Richie deodorant. Like you start like stealing your dad's deodorant or something, and then eventually maybe someone gets the hint.
My dad's freezing cold can of Right Guard.
Yeah, but like you don't think that just that's like asinine. It's like asinine head up your ass parenting that I think our parents' generation and other generations just. They didn't have the talk with their kids
What'd you say about Hillary Duff? That asinine, bro. That asinine.
I was gonna send you a clip last night, but I knew you weren't gonna watch it because you don't watch things I send you. I was watching How I Met Your Father, and there was a scene last night where she's changing, and she's in this, like, a rumpy sort of out. And I'm like, Hillary Duffy.
All the corny shit you sent me, but you don't send me that?
Well, it was from How I Met Your Father, so you probably would have immediately
That's
dismissed it.
asinine.
You probably would have dismissed it. Oh, Marsha Fudge. Why don't you get a little cup like Hillary Clinton did? Her Marsha Fudge cup. My aunt bought my 17-year-old cousin a manscaping kit. Sometimes you need to do that. My mom threw me a stick of deodorant when I was 7 or 8. EJ Reed, that's good parenting by your mom. I'm telling you, there's a lot. Why are most kids smelly and gross? Because their parents are fools. Is that true?
Yes. Yes.
Let's see. My oldest started getting musty. Got her deodorant immediately. That's Rashawn. Yeah, it's the right thing to do, and I won't drag it on anymore. God bless you. Love you.
Can I tell you what I did? Not last night, but the night before.
Yeah.
Or nah. You know what? I might save it. I'm gonna save it
Oh, okay.
unless we really need it. There's a little sort of meal that I'm getting into again, but it's more of a Throwback Thursday conversation.
A meal.
Yeah, but something that I wanted to share with you guys today.
When you talk about meals, remind me. I had a meal last night I've never had in my life, and apparently Sarah and her family were stunned.
Is it a great meal?
It's a great fucking meal.
Nice. All right, so do you want to hear about this trend, or do you want to talk about your meal?
No, man, let's go. I mean,
there's a trend that's sort of bothering me now, and it kind of ties into this previous conversation of dad life. You got to realize, I got 1 foot in dad life, 1 foot up everyone's ass every night on Turbo 41. That's who I am.
you know what I find funny? Covino uses that phrase in meetings.
Yeah.
You know how I describe myself? Got 1 foot in the dad life, the other foot kicking some ass. Yeah. Like, what does that even mean?
Yeah, I don't know.
What does that even mean?
Makes sense to me.
Yeah, but it sounds like kicking ass.
Yeah, bro, kicking ass.
Kicking what ass?
Kicking ass, dude, in life. It's like metaphorically, not really kicking anyone's ass.
And to answer Zush's question, if your friends are those parents that don't do it for their kids, they're your friends. Be like, yo, get your kid deodorant. I don't think this shit, is that embarrassing?
You gotta pull what I call a tita, my grandma tita.
No filter.
She would just give someone a can of deodorant. Use this. She did that. In my family, they used to say, man, so-and-so is humming.
Yeah.
Meaning like he got their hum on.
Yeah.
Oh, he's humming, right? So if there was a family friend there and he was humming, Tita would come by, say, use this.
Spot,
Tell you straight up.
Spot, can you pull a clip? Unless you think it's going to get flagged. This reminds me of when no one had the heart to tell Seinfeld's girlfriend she had a big nose.
Oh, and then Kramer does?
And then Kramer just walks in at the end and he's like, oh, you're beautiful, but hey, you ever think about getting a nose job? And everyone's like, Jesus, Kramer. And like, but it was what everyone was thinking the whole time. Like, classic Seinfeld. He's covered every topic on planet Earth.
He's incredible. I saw a clip of Seinfeld and Larry David from Curb. You remember when his assistant is wearing the midriff?
Yeah.
Her belly sticking out. You remember that? And they're looking at each other. Shit is funny.
Man.
It's amazing how many beautiful women live in New York. I actually find it kind of intimidating.
Well, you're as pretty as any of them. Just need a nose job. Said she needs a nose job. So what?
There's nothing wrong with her nose. God, I'm so sorry, Audrey. It's okay. What did you have to say that for?
Well, I was just trying to help out.
Yeah, well, you can kiss that jacket goodbye, Mr.
Yeah.
Hilarious. I love that. You know, I should reinvestigate some Seinfeld. So there's a new trend that sort of ties along with being a parent. And it bothers me. I see it all the time. Once something hits your algorithm, it's just there, right? Sometimes shit hits your algorithm by mistake. And you're like, oh, fuck. Right? You just like, you put your phone down and it keeps playing. And you're like, oh, now it's going to think I like this shit.
Is that true about your grandma, Covino?
What?
Gabe Moreno. It's not only Latino grandmas. I think it's all grandmas from an immigrant cloth. they are not shy to tell you when someone's getting fat.
Bro, I was her chulo. She would never say something like that to me.
No, but you don't like feel like older foreign grandparents that are very quick to be like, oh, you get fat. What's it's
Definitely
a
a foreign thing, for
generational
sure.
thing. Yeah.
There's a trend on TikTok, and it's kind of sad. I don't have an example, but Spot, if you want to get it, I just screenshot it. I just see it all the time. The reason I don't have an example is because I don't know what the trend is called. I tried to find it through the hashtag, but I see it all the time. And it's a kid filming their parent today, right? So a teenage kid or a young kid filming their parent, and their parent's just like, hey, what's up, you know? And the caption is always the same, but I don't know the name of the trend. And the caption always is, my mom or dad, depending on who it is, my dad told me he rejected many girls back in the day. And then the next clip is like, and I don't believe him. Or I didn't believe him until I saw.
Oh,
And then it's all the pictures of them when they were younger. And it's like,
The one I saw, because I've only
it's
seen this.
heartbreaking.
I've only seen this once.
It sucks. And it's like, because really, if you reverse technology, this trend, it's like, yeah, look how good they were, and look at them now.
Yeah.
It's like, yeah, they look like shit now.
I saw some guy with
It's like a backhanded way of saying, you look shitty now. You look old now. Look what you looked like not that long ago, because you could tell through these pictures that they're from like the 90s to early 2000s. And man, you know, you feel like you're looking at an old person in the first part of the clip, and that was them 15, 20 years ago. And you're like, and to the point where their kid would never even believe it. That's like upsetting to me, you know, like it really is. Like everything about it is sad. And I hate it. And it's a current trend. And I know it's supposed to be fun. And all these parents are good sports about it. Like, hell yeah, I'm an old dope now. But I was good looking. And I'm like, fuck that.
Yeah. I saw it with some like older dad. And he was overweight. And he was balding. And he was like a fat, bald Greek guy. And someone's like, you would never guess my dad was a lady killer.
Yeah.
And they show a picture of like some ripped young
Either lady
Greek
killer
like
or
a Greek god.
Or my dad rejected many girls back in the day,
Yeah.
and I didn't believe them until, and then you see all these pictures of them at their best. And you're like, man, yeah, they were really good looking. And I see ones, not to sound like a shallow piece of shit, but I see ones of women who look like old librarians. My mom said she used to reject tons of men back in the day, and I didn't believe her. And she's like, here's old mom looking like Mrs. Grundy. Old Mother Hubbard. Oh, hi. And then they're showing pictures until I saw pictures of her. And you're like, oh my God, she was gorgeous. Like, that's the same lady. It hurts my feelings. And it's obvious, and we know that. But this trend like really magnifies what we already know. And I don't like it.
Sarah pointed this out when we were on vacation. Remember I told you we just saw a lot of like 20-somethings with like, let's be honest, like perfect bods because they're in college and they haven't aged. Like you don't need to work out to have a hot body in college. You just need to be young and have a good metabolism. Like think of how many dudes had abs that never really worked out and how many girls were quote skinny just because, right? Sarah said she remembers when she was younger and would do, be doing like a modeling shoot or something. And there'd be like some old woman that would come up to her and say, I remember when I had a body like yours. And you really sort of didn't believe it. And then as you're getting older, you're like, well, as I'm getting older, I could see when I'm that age, I would say that to someone and would they believe
You know what I found
me,
out that I didn't know? You know how they always say a man's nose and ears, they never stop growing. That's why you see old guys and their earlobes are down to their shoulders and their honkers are not what they used to be. A man's rib cage continues to widen. I didn't know that.
Really?
Yeah.
Fuck.
that's why every old
I don't
guy's
know
like sort of
up
barrels.
until 40 or after 40. I'm not sure on that, but grow significantly. I heard some doctor talking about that. I'm like, really? Well, that explains it. But yeah, so if you see some guys or younger guys especially, you're going to have a slimmer sort of thing going on. But this trend, you didn't find it. It's fine. Again, like I said, I tried to do my due diligence, and I tried to find the hashtag of like, well, what is this trend called? But I keep seeing it, And I guess it's supposed to be nice from the kid's perspective of look how hot or look how attractive my parents were. The were part is what bothers me a lot. And then, the parents are just so, like I wish I had the ability to be like, yeah, I was good looking once. Like they were. Like, that was me back in the 90s. Like I'm more like, no, fuck, I still want to be that me back in the 90s. But like an older version. They just like let it go and said goodbye to it. You ever see that one clip of like, this is me saying goodbye to my 40s and like goodbye to my 50s, he's waving goodbye? You ever see that one
I've
or
seen
no?
that one, yeah.
Yeah, so anyway, it's a new trend and man, it sucks. I don't like it.
I don't like it.
I don't. I
don't
keep
like
seeing it. And it was
It's
one.
insulting a little bit.
Yes, it's like a backhanded insult. Man, wow, you were really, if someone's saying you were really good looking.
Well, you don't want
You're like,
someone saying
oh.
that to you. If someone said that to you,
What does that mean?
the insinuation is like, you look like shit now.
Right.
Like you want
That's what
someone,
this is.
to look at you as an old man or old woman and be like, oh, I bet you when they were younger, they were a looker.
I mean, you just want to age gracefully, right? But
Yeah.
so this is really pointing out.
This one?
What does it say?
Says, I don't believe my dad when he got all the ladies back in the day.
Yeah,
let's
it's probably one of them.
Until I saw these photos.
Yeah, let's see.
Mouse?
Nah, he looks like a Goonburger still,
Right,
even
no.
then.
But
but
that's the gist,
that's
though.
the
yeah.
trend, yeah. But I'm saying a lot of the ones, they really were good looking young people. And now they just look like, Fred and Fran, your fucking fat old neighbors. You're like, wow, Fred and Fran were lookers, huh? I would have never known.
Fred and Fran?
I would have never known. A lot of them, like, wow, they really were good looking. And they definitely had like a look from an era that I grew up in. So there it is. The TikTok trend that I currently hate. And it goes with, it goes with the previous conversation because your kids really never know you as that. They don't. They just know what they see right in front of them. So, of course, you hawking a loogie's going to embarrass them. They don't know how cool you once were.
It's true. It's true. You look back and you say, man, if someone appears to be, yeah, you know what it is? Because, for instance, there's people that are like 80, 90 years old. And you start to lose sense of like, I wonder what they look like when they were younger. Like someone who got in a car accident, some old legend. Did you see this? Someone got
Dick
in a car.
Van Dyke.
Dick Van Dyke got in a car accident. Like
97.
yeah, like, do you remember what Dick Van Dyke looked like?
Of course.
No, but I'm
Yes.
saying like,
Every day's all a day with Mary.
Young Dick Van Dyke?
but look at Dick Van Dyke in the car accident on TMZ.
Oh, no,
and,
it's scary.
And then look at Dick Van Dyke and be like,
he was seen recently, because doesn't he have like a super young girlfriend? He was seen recently.
He's 97,
and he looks like
though, bro.
Scary old man Winter. Like he looks like very like a crotch. He looks like the old bankers in.
I think
Mary
the thought
Poppins.
is like, because you meet somebody, you meet them for who they are now, right? But if you take a second and think about it, not that it changes anything, but it may give you a different perspective. Be like, you know what? That guy was a lady killer in his day. And look at him. He's an older, humble guy. I would have never even known.
but then there's some people you could tell that, oh, I know they were. Like we work with a guy, one of our bosses at Fox, I think he's like 60. You know for a fact when he was younger, he was slaying it. Because you can tell sometimes by someone's vibe.
You think. So it's a trend. There it is. Take of it what you will. You're bound to see it, though.
Where's that?
Dick Van Dyke,
I'm
97.
looking for there's like a recent, like this photo. Here it is. This is a recent photo of Dick Van Dyke.
I mean, he's also 97.
Yeah, but look at him.
Hey, he looks like Rip Van Winkle.
Yeah, but like, would you be able to say like, oh, back in the day, he was,
He's holding his pants up. He's so skinny.
Dick Van Dyke. You know who celebrates a birthday today? William Shatner, 92.
Remember when William Shatner crashed into something
William
Sidewalk.
Shatner.
recently?
William Shatner saying that outer space is overrated. Really put things in perspective.
Here, I found one right now, Spot, that you could play to sort of bring it. I just found it now. So it's not like this is my primo example. It's a lot of the women, too, that I'm really shocked by because
It's just
you would look at these women. I'm not being mean.
No, I'm
I'm
saying
telling
it's
you, like,
mean.
you'd look at this woman and you'd be like, Sally from Trader Joe's behind the register. And Sally's like, hi, I used to be a looker. And like, sure, you were Sally. Hey, when are they going on sale again? But then you're seeing these photos like, wow, Sally really was fucking hot.
Make a full screen spot if you can.
Sure.
This is just some random one I just
guy,
saw.
This
but-
guy looks to be like a handsome dad, though.
Yeah, but he's a dad, right?
Yeah.
And a kid is only going to see him as her dad.
All right, so it says, my dad told me he rejected many girls back in the day. I didn't believe him until... Oh. I mean, was her dad a model?
Well, I was gonna say, I think it's a weak example because the dad's like a handsome guy.
It's just one I found.
I know, but I'm just saying, yeah, no, I know.
I found it. I was just scrolling.
Oh, I know.
and
I'm
it
just
came
saying,
to
yeah.
my algorithm. So I just kept scrolling until I saw one. So there you have it.
The trends.
You got to show Melody photos of you back in the day.
Doesn't look that much different.
It's a shame. Even my own girlfriend don't know me in my studliest of days.
When were your studliest of days?
I wish I knew you when I was young. We would have got so high.
I do wonder, what is your studliest of days, you think?
Still waiting.
Your studliest of days.
You haven't peaked yet.
When I was watching the World Baseball Classic, there were some players, I'm like, he's 35. Is he in his peak performance right now, or does he think, I was better when I was 28? I think it was like Paul Goldschmidt. Isn't he like he got an MVP in the last year or so, but he's 35. So I'm like, does Paul Goldschmidt say,
he's bald.
I'm the best now? Yeah, he is bald. I did notice that. Does Paul Goldschmidt say, I'm better now than I've ever been?
Steve Covino ain't peaked yet.
Nah, man. I'm like Marlon Wayans, bro. He's doing his best work at 50.
Well,
and he looks good.
If you want to shift gears, I have a thought about like where I think like wokeness and like eye-rolling behavior goes wrong.
Wokeness.
Yeah.
Sure you want to talk wokeness?
Isn't it wokity? What is it?
Wokedified.
Wokedified.
So wokedified.
I just think there's a trend.
Uh-oh.
Oh, no.
Uh-oh, another trend? I can't handle these trends.
There's a trend where...
Trends.
I'll explain. There's a trend.
Oh, boy.
Rich has trends in low places.
Where someone does some shit that is inappropriate or off color or questionable. I wrote down 4 examples because they're from different areas of life, which is the wildest thing. Kyrie Irving says some really dumb shit about the Jewish community. Says some dumb things.
Correction. He did not. He tweeted a link.
Okay, he tweeted a link.
But it insinuated
Yeah.
some things.
So Kyrie retweets and puts out there some dumb shit about the Jewish community. John Morant is on Instagram Live waving around the gun.
Dumb.
Like jeopardizing everything.
Both dumb. I'm not trying to take away from Rich's point. Both dumb because you have to know that there's going to be backlash and consequences.
One of the Bachelor contestants, Greer, when she was a teenager, she didn't dress up in blackface. On Twitter, she defended her friend, saying her friend's not a racist. And then Nick Lachey, who has been ordered to go to anger management because he got mad at a paparazzi that was taking pictures of him on a date night and like went to grab at their camera. And he's in anger management now.
Kusraba.
So all these things have something in common.
You ever hear, what's his name, the comedian, Jesselneck? He's like, I'm not racist. I have a lot of friends who are black, faced for Halloween.
No, he doesn't even say face. I have a lot of friends that are black for Halloween. Yeah,
black for Halloween. Yeah, black for Halloween. Yeah,
you ever see that? Great. You ever see that clip of the old guy? He's on like the news. He's like, I can't be racist. I have a black dog.
Yeah.
So all these people have one thing in common. They did questionable things, right? Some more severe than others. Kyrie, the Jewish tweets. John Morant waving around a gun, Nick Lachey having a physical altercation with a paparazzi, and Greer from The Bachelor defending someone who did blackface when she was a teenager. All these people have been, quote, ordered or recommended to, like, see someone about it. And now we, in the cycle of what we do in social media and life now, is when someone does something stupid, they have to say, I'm getting help. And then a very quick turnaround of like, bro, they're cured. Don't worry. Like, hey, John Morant, you really thought about what this could do for your career, and you're going to find other ways to deal with your stress and anxiety. You know it. Kyrie, like, they forced him to sort of apologize. Greer on The Bachelor, they had this awkward eye-rolling moment where they're like, Greer, you defended someone saying they weren't racist in blackface when you were 16. They made this girl go on national TV and be like, what I did was racist, and I'm talking to this.
What she did was racist.
What she did was racist. And then Jesse Palmer's like, in the audience, we have this woman who does, she's a professor of African-American studies. And she's like, yes, Greer has made a lot of progress. Progress. And then Nick Lachey, so he's on a date night with Vanessa Minnello Lachey, his wife. Some paparazzi fucks with him, and he's mad. So now he has to go to anger management and be like, I now know my anger threshold. Like, so do we just expect people to go along with it for the fucking charade, the charade of it? Is that really what it is? Like the charade. Let's say Covino said something accidentally stupid, or I did. And they're like, yeah, Covino Rich, don't worry. They went to anger management for a week and they're good now. Like, why are we even going along with this facade? They're just PR moves that I don't know how the world doesn't see through it. Spot. The most pandering, gross one of all was this girl Greer on The Bachelor.
It was pretty pathetic.
It was the most pathetic, gross thing I've ever seen. It was an insult to the black community, if you ask me.
You know when
I
this
think it was.
started?
When did it start?
It started when celebrities used to cheat on their spouses and claim they had sex addiction and would go and be like, yeah, I'm getting treatment for sex addiction.
No,
I love
David Duchovny. Remember the Duke was like, yeah, I fucked all these women because I was an addict. Oh my God, his wife forgave him, and he's gonna be okay.
I have an addiction.
If they don't do it, I agree with Tom, who hit us up. If they don't do it, the fear is they'll be canceled. So they have to go through with this elaborate charade of, I've been talking to this woman about black studies. Yeah, Kyrie sat down with a rabbi to talk about Jewish studies. Give me a fucking break. You're changed and you learned a lot in a week. Back on the court, back on TV.
You can learn perspective.
You can learn perspective, but I mean, like, stop it. I mean, stop it. Like, you could become a better person. You could learn, but the forced presentation of this, like, hey, if someone came on and said, what I said was stupid, and the more I thought about it, I know I probably hurt a lot of people's feelings, and I hurt the Jewish community, or the black community, the Asian community, and you know what? The more I thought about it, it was pretty stupid of me to say, and I apologize. And moving forward, you know what? I'm going to really think about what I say, and if I bothered or upset any Asian people, I really do genuinely apologize. The end.
What are you doing about it?
It really does.
I don't need to, but then they'd be like, and for that reason, Spot, is why I'm now taking Asian studies, and I'll be meeting weekly with an Asian counselor to educate
it's
me.
It's fucking lame. I'm sorry.
It's like,
I agree with Rich.
I don't know how to describe it.
It's all a big charade.
It really is a big charade. But at the same time,
it's a charade.
At the charade.
It's a charade.
At the same time, there are people that are
ignorant.
Ignorant.
Of course.
Ill-exposed to things. Like you said, don't see things from other people's perspective. Haven't lived the experience that other cultures have lived. Like even the two of you. Covino, you're the most whitewashed Italian Mexican I've ever met. Yet you, because of the color of your skin, deal with things. Even in the smallest of ways.
Yeah. So
like those are things that you don't see. Because you're just a white guy. You know?
Yeah. I mean, it really is the most disingenuous way to handle it. I really do feel like
look at all the small-minded people I've encountered recently.
Look at the. I'm trying to think which is the best example. I mean, Nick Lachey, paparazzi, right? So Nick Lachey was on a date night had a couple drinks. Some paparazzi was in his face. He went to go grab their camera, and like the camera fell. Nick Lachey needs anger management for that?
That's weird.
Yeah, but you don't think that strikes you as like, really? He needs, so Nick Lachey, everything
started during the pandemic around that time, and I forget what it was. It was like, you're misinformed. You need to read more about blank before you address me with blank. And I forget what it was.
I mean, I agree with EJ in some capacity that at the same time, doing nothing is not a good look. But I don't like the idea of, look, EJ, because in my mind, if let's say someone said some dumb shit about Jewish people, I don't think publicly being like, I'm having weekly meetings with a rabbi and Jewish leaders. That's bullshit,
like,
eye-rolly stuff. How about just like, hey, what did you learn? Did you learn anything? Yeah, I learned that, maybe I did, not realize the struggle.
But it's also, you know what's pathetic about it? It's like this girl, Greer, who was put on national television to apologize. Like, she's there acting like she committed the biggest crime of all time. If I was her parent, I'd be like, yo, fucking stop with that. You didn't do anything that wrong. Like, you don't need to apologize to the world like you're the worst person ever. It was an honest little mistake you made, but it's treated like you did something catastrophic.
Remember when they...
Like you committed some sort of murder. And it's like, yo, relax. This girl defended her friend when she was a teenager. She learned from then. The end.
Exactly. Remember
like
when
you have to go out there and be like, I realized that I was the worst kid of all time. And now I'm just on my constant quest of life to be a better person. And I'm counseled now. It's like, get the fuck out of here. Like that's absurd, the levels that we've taken it. So I agree with Rich on that. And it is a big charade. Rich, didn't you say there was a comedian or something that said that we just are expected to just go through this? And didn't you say there was a routine or a comedian that talked about how like we're just supposed to accept this charade as like that's just part of the process? Sounds like something Bill Burr would be talking about.
Oh no, Jim Jeffries.
Oh,
Jim Jeffries. I mean, that's right. Jim Jeffries.
You were telling me about it, about like a routine that someone had about like how is this part of the process now?
Was it the new special from?
Yeah, because didn't he talk about like cancel culture in his recent special?
Yeah, Jim. Oh yeah, Jim Jeffries talks about how bald guys, you can make fun of them, but one person makes fun of Jada Pinkett Smith's bald head, and he's like, "That's bullshit. Why I hate that fucking cunt." He does a whole thing about how we can make fun of dudes and their bald hair, that to the point where these guys are getting hair replacement surgeries and shaving their head every day to have a bald head to make. Meanwhile, one woman.
How about if you're a short bald guy? Jeez.
Yeah.
If you're a short, bald, fat guy.
How about if you're a short, bald Mexican guy? Because apparently you can just make fun of Mexicans all day too if you want.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, I mean, again, not the biggest story in the world, but I've noticed it in the last couple months.
I'm getting counseled now.
Kyrie's a little further back, but just think of those four examples. Kyrie, John Morant, Nick Lachey, Greer from The Bachelor. Four people that said or did questionable things that we all as a public desire.
Or how about let's put it in today's perspective, right? You made a public announcement somewhere on social media or, on a broadcast for us where I'm like, yeah, man, and I gave her a good spanking because she was misbehaving. And then everyone came down and be like, you can spank your kids? And I'm like, guys, I'm sorry. I'm here. I learned.
I have a question.
I went to counseling and I realized it's not the best way to handle my situations. And I'm forever, sorry for what I did.
And on a weekly basis, I meet
I'm
with
learning and I'm getting better. And it's like, yo, dude, man, fuck. I said I spanked my kid. It was like a one-time thing.
Who demands and desires this is the question.
That's the point spot.
Are they getting ahead of it?
They're getting ahead of it. It's part of the PR thing. The other night, again, I thought it was the grossest thing I've seen in a long time.
Yeah, it was The Bachelor. Jesse Palmer sitting there like this.
And Jesse Palmer's probably loving it because that's the reason he has the job, because Chris Harrison got done dirty.
Maybe
right?
the NFL should adopt this way of life.
Spot. It was wild. This girl who
you really need to explain
this girl who's like 23 years old, right? When she was 16, let me make it clear, she did not dress in blackface.
She just defended her friend because she knew her friend.
Reminds me of that Megyn Kelly. Remember Megyn Kelly? Where she was like, yeah, when I was growing up in the 80s, kids would paint their faces for Halloween.
No one says blackface is good, Spot. The point is this girl.
She's just saying,
this girl,
I know my friend. She's not a racist. Well, she.
But keep in mind the timing of it too. Greer, this girl on The Bachelor, she's in her 20s. They found a tweet from 2016, 7 years ago. She was probably 16. So she's a 23 when she was 16 on Twitter. So it was a teenager on Twitter. People are calling her friend racist. And she's like, yo, just because my friend did that doesn't mean she's racist, and defended her friend. So now, 7 years later, as a 23-year-old, she needs to go on national TV in front of 10 million people watching the Bachelor finale, final weeks.
I don't know, her parents didn't want to vomit watching that.
Saying that she's getting help and she's learning. And it's like,
no, and ABC really fucking leaned into it.
oh, and they're like, oh, in the crowd, we're so lucky to have. And it's like, they point out like a black woman who's a professor of black studies. And they had.
Oh, she's doing much better.
She's doing much better now.
She was the worst person.
Much
ever.
better? Well, 'cause she, what?
By the way, I took a women's studies class in college. It wasn't what I thought it would be.
Dude. I'm just saying, like, the presentation.
Some of these people haven't been to Chocolate City, and it shows.
Did you see Kyrie resisted it at first? They're like, yeah, we want Kyrie to like sit down with Jewish leaders and rabbis. And it's like, why? Like, I don't know. To me, it's
I hope they're not catering it, because let's be honest, Jewish food isn't the greatest.
I don't guess you ever have some good matzo ball soup and latkes and.
Yeah, I guess you're right.
So anyway,
Pickles.
I agree with Jen too.
Great pickles.
I agree with Jen. Who goes back 7 years to try to find a gotcha tweet on a Bachelor contestant? Trolls, losers,
Everybody nowadays.
jerk offs.
It is part of the trend. Rich is right about that. The woke trend went one step further. Now you have to seek counseling.
Yeah,
you know what I say? You know what I say to this?
Or read a book.
You know what I say to this? Let he without sin cast the first stone.
Agreed. Spell.
Everyone's got that shit in their closet.
You said that?
I said that.
But that you came up with that?
I did. How did she? Yeah, I just did.
It's really deep, man. Say that again.
Let he without sin. Actually, no. Let they without sin cast the first stone.
Oh, speaking of
there's something there. You should write that down so you don't forget.
Hold on.
Saw something.
Oh, Spot. That's a good one.
Let they without sin. Write this down, everyone.
We need. Tom makes a great point. Because we are not happy with ourselves, there's a need to tear others down.
Let they without sin cast the first stone. Why casting a stone, you ask? Seems like a cool analogy.
I'm just saying. I think it's insulting. I mean, I could be wrong, but I think it's insulting to the black community, the Jewish community, women, any marginalized minority group. I think when someone has to do the whole like, I'm studying and reading and meeting with professors and stuff, I feel like that's like a pandering like insult in a way.
Did we play the video here, or did I just see it randomly on social media, where it was a guy went around asking privileged white college people?
We played it here.
Okay, yeah. What they thought of a was it like
a guy in a sombrero?
A guy in a sombrero. They're like, oh, that's offensive. That's
appropriation.
And then they asked Mexican dudes, like, oh yeah, that's great. I like it. That's a cool outfit.
I like it.
Bro, I just got back from Mexico. You know what everyone was trying to sell me? Fucking sombreros, maracas. You go on the beach, any stand is like, come on. I mean, sorry, I can't.
Same pussy for life. Bandanas.
Yeah, and they were selling I eat ass bandanas, but still.
Did you buy one for Spot?
Should have.
I am so disappointed you did not buy me one. If I had known, if you had sent me that in the moment, be like, look at what I just saw, I'd be like, go back and buy me one right now.
Did you see the?
I'd wear it around my forehead as I was eating ass.
I don't know.
Oh, almost like a
bandana.
bib of sorts,
That would
but
be
not.
like, no, like around my head.
Ass eating bib.
I eat ass.
Spot messed up his he's, we's, they's, and I's just now when he was quoting the Bible.
Let they without sin.
Did you see that New York City changed their logo and slogan?
No.
I'm not saying it has to do with pronouns. I don't know the reasoning. But what is the slogan for New York?
The Big Apple.
No, the T-shirt that you
I love New York.
I heart New York.
I heart New York.
It's not that anymore.
What is it?
We heart New York.
I don't hate it.
Why would they do that though? I'm not saying like there's a little controversy. Our buddy Matt was like, "It's fucking weak. The fuck is this?" Remember our buddy Matt, Pilgrim Matt? Huh. And I'm like, I agree. That shit is whack. What's wrong with the old one?
We love New York.
Are you not allowed to say I?
I'm not saying it has anything to do with pronouns. I don't even know what the fuck that means. I'm just saying I don't know why they changed it.
Yeah, I don't know. We's more not inclusive like in a eye rolly way. Like
it is I love New York. Now it's we love NYC.
Imagine learning the English. Imagine being a foreigner, right?
I heart NY.
Remember taking a language and having to learn like conjugations. Every I, we, they, whatever had a different. It's like yo, voy tu vas, él va,
Yeah.
nosotros vamos,
Nosotros
y
tenemos.
usted vámonos.
Yeah.
Or
Are you asking how they
Vam-
teach that now?
how does a non-speaking English person learn the language and
I
then all of a
promise you-
sudden have to realize that like, oh wait, so now all the pronouns don't associate with
A lot of foreign comedians do that in their routine. It's pretty
right?
funny.
I just want to say one thing, and we'll move on from this. A little something more light, but say what's up to Lego Aaron, who never listens live, but he's doing a road trip, making it easy for him. Yo, what's up, Aaron?
What up,
Aaron.
Lego Aaron?
I wonder who Lego Aaron is.
To wrap this up,
know him?
Spotty Boy, to wrap it up, I said it, and I breezed by it yesterday with my observations from Mexico.
Summer breezed by it.
I'm convinced
seals
that
and craft.
the one thing that I thought was true is that this whole woke world is a very eye-rolly American thing. I feel like the rest of the world probably looks at us like, what are they doing?
Yeah, shit is cool.
They're concerning themselves with all the things to be concerned about.
I want to send all
in
these
the
woke-
world.
I want to send all these woke people to Iran.
I'm saying with all the with all the issues and things we could be worried or thinking about, I think the rest of the world's like, whoa. People in the U.S. are concerning themselves with like these woke studies of like people being. I think the rest of the world is not there. I promise you. Oh, it's Running Aces, Aaron.
Oh, hi, Aaron.
What's that, Aaron? Anyway,
What up, Running Aces, Aaron?
there you go. That's
Running
it.
Aces, Aaron.
Yeah.
Your golf umbrella has come in quite in handy the past few days.
Wow,
Past few
geez, I don't
weeks.
even want to know why. What have you been doing with it?
That's raining, bro.
Oh,
Raining out.
oh, my bad. I thought.
I've used that.
I was thinking something
I
else.
hear
Golf
you.
umbrella is
Oh.
really that golf umbrella. Really good. It's a nice one. It's a really nice umbrella. Did you guys get one?
I did not.
Yeah, it's really nice.
But I love
Enjoy
Aaron.
it. So, ta-da! I don't know what term I dropped that someone said I drop a lot, but hey, whatever I said.
Does that make sense?
No, I don't think I said that. But we concern ourselves with stuff. I guarantee other countries probably say that they're concerning themselves with that.
Country's wiggity wax.
I saw something yesterday, a news headline, and it wasn't on Fox or CNN. It wasn't like some very, it wasn't like a leaning news headline. There's a sentiment, not to get political,
Oh boy.
but someone
Here it
said,
comes.
and I agree with this.
Uh-oh.
I agree with this 1,000%.
It wasn't Tucker Carlson, was it?
No. Spotty boy.
Are you going to quote Candace
Oh,
Owens?
Owens.
No, I'm not going to.
By the way, I found it. Yeah, I'm so good at this stuff.
Yeah, you are.
Here's a routine called I hate verbs in English because they don't make any sense. You're talking about conjunctions?
Yeah.
Hold your Candace Owen thought because this goes with the English language spot. I don't know how I find these things on the fly.
Pretty good.
Sometimes I'm good.
Should unbutton one more button.
Most times I'm sucking.
You're like in between Travolta and not, so you might as well just go full Travolta.
Maybe you want to see my nipples?
No, just full Travolta.
Fuck out of here.
Yeah, just take another
Good,
button.
good.
One
That's
more
very
button.
70s.
Just
Look at-
one more button. Come
I'd
on.
be slaying it.
Flare it open a little
Come on,
bit more.
one
You
more
gotta like
button.
show a little more chest.
One more button.
Hey, like there you go.
No, take one more button off.
Because the
No,
chain
or-
accentuates. The chain feels like you.
Right around the chest.
If I was a dude, I would have wore a longer chain.
No, see right around the chest there. See that button right there. Take it.
Look at that.
just-
Mexican hairless, bro.
No.
Hairless Mexican.
Yeah.
Come on, that button right there.
So here's the struggle that foreigners have with the English language.
I hate verbs in English.
Kate.
I dance, you dance, he dances. Why? Is he dancing more than me? I don't think so. 645 people dance and he dances. How much is this motherfucker dancing?
Anyway, that wasn't the one I wanted, but
You said it to me.
no, I know that was. I thought it was
Dances, people dance.
It's funny because I've been seeing a lot of that of like foreigners trying to figure out like how our language works. That was the one I had in mind, but it's still good. All right, either way, you get the point. Let's get back to your Tucker Carlson thought.
It wasn't a Tucker thought. It wasn't a Candace Owen thought. It wasn't a Rachel Maddow thought. It wasn't like some.
You know, Candace Owen, you know how you said if you were black,
you'd hate her.
No. How if you were black, you'd be offended by the way ABC treated that situation?
Yeah.
You know, she does bring up some good points.
Everyone brings up some good points. Even the dumbest person.
Even a broken clock is right twice a day.
Yeah, I mean, ignorant people are right once in a while,
Right.
and smart, educated people are ignorant once in a while.
Like, I don't know how a minority, right? And I feel like I am equipped to speak on this because I'm sort of in the middle. Like, how can a minority look at a casted TV show or a commercial and not say, well, that's just forced? You know, she went on a rant of like, I grew up loving Denzel Washington. You know why? Because he was fucking great. He is great. Yeah. And I know he's there because he's excellent. And then you got all these other people, and I know they're just there because they're there. Because they're trying to fill a quota. Because some producer's trying to make it right for everybody. Not because he's great. Not because he earned it. Not because he deserved it. It's an insult to my intelligence. I know why that guy's there. It's not because he's excellent.
Every show being like
Isn't
represented by everyone is a
insulting?
little much, yeah. My thought had nothing to do with that. My thought was about Donald Trump.
Oh, boy.
And I just thought this was an interesting thought. And it's almost like, be careful what you wish for.
Here it comes.
Here it comes.
What gang is he going to join in jail? You hear Chris Rock said about it?
The best gang.
Chris Rock said, they're going to throw him in jail. He was saying it's the worst move ever, right? He goes, it's like arresting Tupac. He's going to sell more albums. If you arrest Donald Trump, you're going to make him more popular.
Well, I'm not saying you hijacked my thought because apparently Chris Rock said it, but I saw news people saying yesterday.
Chris Rock said it in his like new stand-up routine.
That not the special though, right?
No, he's working. You know, he's still doing comedy.
But just the whole thought of Donald Trump, if he's going to jail, liberals, conservatives, no one should want this guy in jail. Him going to jail would cause more of a fucking hassle and uprising. Like, Donald Trump going to jail is a bad thing. Think of what would happen if Donald Trump went to jail. There'd be a lot of people that would be doing some dumb stuff. Like, is it worth sending Donald Trump to jail if it means like the country's in disarray? Can't the guy I guess let him get away with it, I guess. I don't know. But do you think Donald Trump going to jail, if Donald Trump actually, I don't think it'll happen, but if he went to jail, do you think that would be good for the country as a whole? Yes or no?
I subscribe to the Chris Rock theory of it's like Tupac getting negative press, selling more albums. You throw him in jail, you're going to get more people rallying for him and making him more popular again.
Highly likely. People are saying he won't go to jail. I get it. Law and order. We have to say, people commit crimes, go to jail. But do you think, and again, even if he's guilty as the fucking sky is blue, if this guy's as guilty as could be, do you think it's in the best interest of the safety and world we live in now for this guy to go to jail?
No.
It seems like a terrible idea. Meaning,
but I did hear whatever gang he joins is going to be the best gang in the world.
Best gang ever. I just feel like if he went to jail, there'd be protests and marches and violence and too much negative. All right, even if 2 people fucking died in a melee, that's 2 people dying because Donald Trump went to jail. I promise you, him going to jail does not result in like, well, that's behind us. You don't think that shit would cause chaos? Chaos, dude.
It makes him more popular.
Of course, but I'm saying it's like the same people that say lock her up. Like, you think Hillary Clinton's ever going to jail? You think Donald Trump's ever going to jail? I didn't think so, but the fact that people are saying it, like it might be possible. If he goes to jail, he could be guilty. I agree. Doesn't matter.
We need to rally.
Doesn't matter.
He's gonna get people to protest.
Doesn't
we
matter.
Need to protest.
Even the most liberal person, the Stu Hotwagners of the world. Who's your most eye rolling liberal friend?
Stu Hotwagner.
Besides,
just kidding.
Like the most woke person.
There's so many.
You still think that those people think Donald Trump should go to jail? It would cause. He's too. I agree, Rashawn. It sounds crazy, but I think he's too too big of a figure to go to jail. It would cause. So if Donald Trump goes to jail and there's
I wonder if Popeye's going to get that chonchon.
if Donald Trump goes to jail and there's riots and protests and march and all this crazy shit and like the people that tried to fucking storm the Capitol, if those people, if guys dressed like fucking Vikings and with MAGA hats on,
MAGA.
dude, if 5 people somehow get killed in the melee, you think it's worth it? Send this guy to jail? You want protests and businesses destroyed and fires and
I think it's counterproductive. If you want to keep him out of office, I think it's counterproductive to send him to jail.
Keep him out of office, but don't put the guy in jail. Not because I like him, but because it's gonna be a fucking terrible thing for our country. Yeah, see, like Mauser saying, by my logic, well, if he doesn't get elected, we should give him the win just to avoid confrontation. It's not confrontation. It's, I don't know. I'm just saying, if he goes to jail, watch what happens. I don't know the answers to what you're about to ask.
When
is it happening? Like, when would it happen? I don't know. He'd have to get arrested first, and then he'd probably post bail unless they're like, no bail, but they'd give him bail. Then there'd probably be some trial. It would be watched more than the fucking OJ trial, probably, right? Bunch of dudes outside a courthouse with their MAGA hats on.
What would his angle be to incite people, though? Like, is this the America you want?
It's not the America you want.
Like, well, yeah. What would his like power to the people? Right. Look what they're doing to me. Is this the America?
It's their agenda. Fake news.
Attica. This isn't McGaga. Kill Whitey. This is McGaga.
No, Andrew's right. You can't. Can you set a precedent by we're not going to send them to jail because of how people will react? But I don't know, dude.
Yeah, justice is supposed to be blind.
I mean,
people.
Gay.
Yo,
I mean,
Wes.
gay.
Wes, I love you, brother, but you're so way off. The people he said the people that will protest if he goes to jail are not the same as the January 6 people. I'm like, no, it's the January 6 people and other people, not the January 6 people. The people that think the election was rigged. You don't think those people are going to be the ones that are most mad if this guy goes to fucking jail and they don't think he should? I don't know. I'll move on from it, but I just saw it in the headlines, and every day on Yahoo News. Spot on Google News, Yahoo News, MSN, Fox News, every news, the headline and the top trending thing is Donald Trump, possible jail.
He has enough lawyers to tie this up in appeals
until he dies.
Like, honestly, he could. They could just keep filing motions, distract the courts, and he'll just die.
I don't know. Well, anyway, I'm just saying.
Or he'll flee the country. He doesn't have extradition.
I guess my bigger thought is I don't want to see innocent. What if like Trump gets all ripped and jacked, curling cinder blocks in prison, gets like a fucking sweet tattoo?
Oh, you ever see Spot? Can you show what Donald Trump would look like with a shaved head and a
tattoo?
You ever see that picture of Donald Trump what he would look like with
La onda.
Spot, Google image a picture of what Trump looks like if he has a shaved head and a goatee like Stone Cold Steve Austin. You ever see that?
I don't think I have. But
that's what he's gonna look like. So I don't know, man. Dude, again, I don't have like some fucking hot take on this other than I just think that things would go haywire if he went to jail. That's all. And it's hard to disagree with that statement. You think Donald Trump could get arrested and go to jail and everyone would be like, no big deal. Be a lot of fucking people losing their shit. No one's above the law. But I would hate to see innocent people die in like stupid ways because they were protesting or marching or picketing or fighting, like fights on the street. I love to see, I like Mauser, who gets too many shout outs apparently. That's like saying, sorry, officer, me getting a speeding ticket's bad for the county. But tell me what happens if he got arrested and actually went to jail. You think everyone would be like, well, that's how it goes. There'd be people like throwing Malachi. What is it? Is it Malachi cocktail?
Molotov
cocktails into like businesses. Remember the riots for Black Lives Matter or anything?
Molotov's a great Mexican rock band.
Anyway, that's it. That's it.
So that brings us to our rando news. I'm sure we could speculate on some of the stories in the rando news of the day. On this hump day, March 22nd, is it National Anything Cool Day?
Believe it or not, it's National Goof Off Day.
What that mean?
I don't know. National Goof Off Day. So
Is that why Spotty's just sitting there?
that's why Spot was like napping.
Yeah.
I wasn't napping. I was.
What were you doing?
I was.
No, but what were you doing? Because you were sitting side.
I was sending a text message. If you must know, to our lawyer, not my lawyer, our lawyer.
Our lawyer.
Yeah, who's our lawyer?
You mean Tony Moriello?
Yeah. But
It was talking about swinging parties.
No, it's actually business.
Tony, do you have any hot parties I could go to
No,
get my
it's
balls
actually
sucked?
business. So no.
Oh, and by the way, our LLC can use it. You fuck any hot people lately? And by the way, our LLC is. All right. Thank you, Spot.
Fuck you.
National Goof Off Day,
Whoa!
March 22nd.
I'm a goofy goober.
There he is, National Goof.
Hey, what's up,
Our
goofballs?
National Goof.
Hey, it's a National Goof Day.
Some of you may have seen Tekashi 6ix9ine rooting for Team Mexico at the WBC, but he's been recently hospitalized. Controversial Mexican rapper Tekashi 6ix9ine hospitalized after being attacked in the gym by 3 or 4 people in a sauna. Watch out for that sauna, man.
Son of Rage.
Sauna of rage.
For real, though.
3 or 4 dudes beat his ass. He fought back, but he got all messed up, and he's hospitalized now.
Keep your eyes open or closed when you sauna?
Open.
You're just like sitting there staring at the other dudes in the sauna? And I'm the gay one.
Daniel Hernandez, Tekashi 6ix9ine, is walking through the gym. There's video footage of him walking through the gym, all bloodied. Blood all over his face. Cuts
wild.
and bruises all over the place. Employees heard the disturbance, and the perpetrators fled. Remember, snitches get stitches. He got a snitch on a lot of his homies. Police in South Florida were called, and he was transported via ambulance to the Loco Hospital. So, Tekashi update.
I was waiting for that.
I mean,
Yo, what the fuck? That's how they supposed to treat you. Bitch ass. Oh, Mickey Mouse ass. Mouse ass. Do something. Go ahead. Take a picture. Go ahead. Take a picture. I want to be famous now. I want to be famous. Fuck.
Yo, they just jumped 6ix9ine, bro. Yo, homie, I'm not gonna lie, bro. I'm a fan, bro. No, I'm a fan. I'm just saying, bro. I'm a fan, bro. I know.
yeah, he's got his ass beat.
Wait, so the guy filming him being beat then turns around and says, I'm a fan?
No, I think it was someone else in the locker room.
Oh.
I don't know, but giving you the story, man. I don't expect you to care.
That guy stumped him pretty good.
Yeah, he did.
That's fucked up. It's pretty fucked up, to be honest.
What do you think happened? Like, did he not wipe down his
That guy,
machines?
he belongs in jail.
Yeah, he didn't wipe down the elliptical.
The elliptical.
That's what happens.
Yeah.
Now you know what happens when you don't wipe down your equipment at the gym.
Now, he's an interesting guy because I can't really name any of his songs that I care about, but I know who he is.
I can't name
And
any.
I watched two of his documentaries.
I can't name any of his songs. Period.
Dick Van Dyke, we already talked about him. Rich didn't know his name. Rip Van Winkle. Just call him Rip Van Winkle. Same sort of vibe. Dick Van Dyke crashes into a gate in Malibu. 97-year-old. Lost control of his wheels, his Lexus.
You mean he wasn't driving towards the gate and then at the last second dipped to the side?
I think he's driving toward the pearly gate. Let me get. I'm almost there. Take me, it's time. Well, remember, the Malibu streets of California are drenched by rain.
That reference
so
everyone said.
Poor Dick Van Dyke was bruised and bloody like Tekashi 6ix9ine.
Damn.
The Mary Poppins star appears to have only suffered minor injuries. So this guy cheated death at 97. Usually you hear about a broken hip or some shit. This guy's all right. Good for him. But he crashed into a gate. He doesn't need that. Why is he driving anyway? Where's he going? Somebody drive this poor fucking guy. 97.
Come on.
I know. He's probably got millions of dollars.
There's another story of extra sensitive people. Now I saw this clip and I agreed that Katy Perry was being rude. I thought she was kind of rude.
Here's this Dick Van Dyke coming home.
Oh, there you go. Dick Van Dyke.
Old guy.
Oh, funny.
Sorry.
So, American Idol. Somehow that snuck into my algorithm. But that's not why I'm bringing this up. This is an actual news story. But I see a lot of talent. And I'm pretty impressed by some of the people I see.
That's the thing. It's like, I watched last season, I watched the auditions. Used to be my Sunday night routine. We would do Fox. And I would come home and watch the auditions, and they were fantastic. But then it's such a commitment. It's like The Bachelor.
Yeah, no, I
Then
like
it's
seeing it on
such a-
social media because some of it really moves me. I'm like, oh,
such
so
a
good.
commitment. Because you meet all these people and you see how much talent is out there, and you're like, oh, this person's gonna go far. This person's gonna this person. Oh, I'm gonna follow this person. And then like once all the Hollywood starts, and then all the other
You're
shit.
so right, Spot, because you watch
You're
the
just
auditions
like,
and you
oh.
start, you almost like, I'm not saying you get a notepad up, but you start noting the people like, hey, babe, you remember last week that one girl from the Tennessee audition? Oh, and then there was that black dude that was really good at the.
Remember that guy you used to like, Alejandro, bro?
Alejandro.
Yeah, no, there's some
That guy was
talent.
good.
There's a lot of talent out there, but Spot's right. It's more of a commitment than, no joke, The Bachelor.
Well, that's what I'm saying. I don't watch it, but I see clips on social media. You ever see that 37-year-old? No. This old black guy gets out on stage on X Factor. And Simon's like, why are you here? He's like, well, I just got out of the big house. I was wrongfully imprisoned for 37 years. DNA freed me, made me innocent. What are you going to see? And he goes out there and he sings his heart out, bro. It was heartwarming. Like, this guy was in prison 37 years for a crime he didn't commit, and he goes out there and lives his dream. Shit is beautiful. Anyway, I was watching some American Idol shit, and I just happened to see a clip.
This guy, right?
Yeah, you ever see this?
Right, let's get to know you first of all, actually, a little bit.
Okay. I was just incarcerated for 37 years for somebody else's crime. DNA freed me.
I want to hear him sing. Hold on.
Oh, and hear the story.
On the morning of December the 9th of 1982, a 30-year-old white woman was raped and stabbed in her home. I was arrested on January the 4th. I couldn't believe it was really happening. I knew I was innocent. I didn't commit a crime. But being a poor black kid, I didn't have the economic ability to fight the state of Louisiana.
Yeah. Greer should have to watch this.
I was sentenced to life in 80 years without the possibility of parole or probation.
Oh, wow.
When you're faced with dark times, what I would do is I would pray and sing. This is how I got peace.
Imagine.
I can't lie. No more of your darkness.
Dude, he has everyone in tears after this.
He has me in tears right now.
My pictures
Oh. Definitely getting flagged for this.
seem to fade to black and white.
Smooth.
I'm going tired,
Does he like wail at one point?
and time stands still before me.
This guy should have won just because.
Oh my God,
right?
that's so tough.
You can stop at Spot.
You know what Simon says?
I want to hear him belt it out.
The sun go down on me.
Oh,
Although I search myself,
that's emotion right
there's
there.
always someone else I see.
He really nails it, though. He falls into it and really does a great job. And it's not a George Michael song. It's an Elton John song. And I'm responding to feedback. But Simon says, I will never hear that song the same way again. Oh, boy. Because really, he made it like so heartfelt. It was great. Either way, I see a lot of these clips, and I'm like, man, wow, lots of talent. It's great stuff. So I came across one, and I said to myself, man, yeah, Katy Perry was really fucking rude to this one girl. This one girl comes out. She's a nerd, dude. She's like a nerdy girl, right? And Katy Perry's like, yeah, not feeling it. Step it up. And she basically tells her, like, yeah, pick another song. Like she's really just rude and blunt to this girl.
I mean,
and turns out this girl was 25 with 2 kids, and Katy Perry like gets up like she's gonna faint, and then it's all joking. I'm not saying that Katy Perry did anything wrong, but she was rude to this girl, so probably drew more attention to this joke. Katy Perry then says, "Yeah, I think I'm gonna faint," in response to this girl having 2 kids at 25. The girl then says, "If Katy lays on the table, I think I'm gonna pass out." And Katy replied, "Honey, you've been laying on the table too much. So people are saying it's an overly offensive and rude joke. You've been laying on the table too much was such an offensive joke.
Boom.
Someone commented under the awkward audition. And what they're saying now is that Katy Perry mom shamed this young woman.
That's such a thing?
I guess.
And I'm 25 and I'm from California.
Cannot be 25. What are you saying?
Yes, 25.
No,
16.
I mean, come on.
Bless, you guys are my favorite.
Give us a
I
basic.
have 3 kids, so that's like.
Get away from here. What are you saying?
Okay, Katie?
Nope.
It's okay.
If Katie lays on the table, I think I'm gonna pass out.
3 kids.
Honey, you've been laying on the table too much.
No.
You know.
That's getting
It's called a
criticism.
joke.
Yeah.
It's funny.
But anyway,
All right.
she can actually, but Katy Perry, the only reason I knew this clip
Why does her?
is because she was really rude to her
Is that her
during the
husband?
audition.
Why does her husband look like he's 55?
So the mom shaming stories, like it is like a People magazine story, like hey, Katy Perry was she mom. Anyway, I'm just giving you the fucking story, and I tied it into like, man, I'm seeing a lot of good clips, even though I don't like those shows.
Maybe you do like those shows, just not the 2.5 hour commitment of those shows. Because you can't say you don't like the shows, but you love all the clips.
Yeah, like
what you just
No,
just don't like.
I don't like to. I like seeing like
For
the good
me,
ones
like
that
you-
are sort of curated on my social
Yeah, but
media.
that's what you're
algorithm.
saying. The commitment.
I don't like the show, I like the moments.
The same reason I think The Bachelor pulled back. There was a time, and correct me if I'm wrong, wasn't there a time where The Bachelor was like 2 days a week for a couple hours?
Yeah. You know what?
It happens, yeah.
Yeah, no, and now it's back to like once a week. Like if you tell me Idol's on 2 days a week for 2 hours, like you miss 1 week, you're like, I'm done.
You know what? You know what The Bachelor needs to do? Bring in to really liven up the season. They need to do what American Idol does. They need the audition process. I want to see the Bachelor audition process.
Like the girls' tapes.
The girls like tapes.
Trying to find love.
Like how they choose between them all. Like the interviews about how they dwindle it down.
Dude,
I would love to see that.
like I said, I like the curated
And then
moments.
they go into the season.
Curated moments, because there is talent and there's great stories. I sent you another one, Spot.
No, I'm good.
You know, no, because the Katy Perry story to me is a non-story. I'm just reporting it to you. But I saw one the other day. It almost brought me to tears, and I'm fucking, slightly vato.
I love a good golden buzzer.
Yeah, Simon gives the golden buzzer. He's like, I give you the golden buzzer. Bend over. And there's a girl, bro. She's like, yeah, I got cancer, and like I think I'm gonna die. And like she sings.
Oh yeah,
beautifully.
Yeah, I've seen this. Yeah. She has terminal
Dude,
cancer.
Yo, it made me
Yeah, she has terminal cancer. She's dying.
stone cold killer. Made me like. I was like, man, look at this. This is the spirit you need.
My name's Jane. When I sing,
Wait,
I go
pause
by
this.
Nightbird.
Okay.
She's passed away already.
Really?
You don't know this story?
Oh.
Oh no, this is years ago, and she ended up becoming one of. There was a special I saw, like the best moments from reality singing shows, and this was number one.
Yeah, it's incredible.
She sings beautifully, and
Beautiful.
she talks about how she only thinks of the positive things.
Yeah.
And
people are crying about their pimples.
since her,
Give me a
there
break.
was it was Terry Crews and Simon Cowell hosted like the best moments from AGT. She was number one.
This girl,
and
without even knowing that story, made me so
Simon,
emotional.
Simon and Terry Crews are both in tears because she had just passed away.
She was so good.
Yeah.
Jane. When I sing, I go by Nightbird.
Oh, that's nice.
Nightbird?
That's right.
Did you sing? Do you sing for a living?
Not recently.
Where are you from?
I'm from Zanesville, Ohio.
Okay. How old are you?
I'm 30.
30 years old. And the dream is to be a singer. What are you going to be singing for us tonight?
I'm singing an original song called "It's Okay."
It's okay.
That's a beautiful song.
It is. It's okay.
It's okay.
What is it? It's okay about?
It's okay is the story of the last year of my life.
All right. And who are you here with?
I'm here by myself.
It's okay. And what do you do for a living?
I have not been working for quite a few years. I've been dealing with cancer.
Oh, sorry.
No, it's okay.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm okay.
All right.
I want to hear about this.
Can I ask you a question? How are you now?
Last time I checked, I had some cancer in my lungs, my spine, and my liver.
Wow.
So you're not okay.
Well, not in every way, no.
You got a beautiful smile and a beautiful glow, and
You do.
nobody would know.
Thank you. It's important that everyone knows I'm so much more than the bad things that happen to me.
I can't do this.
That's a great point. I love that point.
Sing for us.
Oh, this.
My name's Jane.
And then she goes on, and she sings so great. An original song, even Simon was like, "I give you the golden buzzer." Phenomenal. So I've been seeing a lot of those moments. But the one that went viral recently is Katy Perry being rude because she's a mom shamer. I don't know why that's a thing, but it is. So.
Oh, this is
when he gave it the golden ticket.
Buzzer.
This season?
This is old. This is years ago, but still, you know.
It was powerful. It was heartfelt, and I think you're amazing.
That's what I'm saying. I like my curated moments.
I mean, your voice is so beautiful to listen to. It was beautiful.
I am Heidi Klum.
Your voice is stunning.
It is.
Absolutely stunning.
Remember when Rich was on
I totally agree
AGT?
with what Howie said,
Don't.
you know, about
Remember?
authenticity.
That was great.
There was something about that song after the way you just almost casually told us what you're going through, and you know.
You can't wait until life isn't hard anymore before you decide to be happy.
Time.
Simon cries.
There are, however, there have been some great singers this year. And I'm not going to give you a yes. I'm going to give you something else.
She died? That's the worst.
She passed away on February 19th, 2022, a year and a month ago.
Oh, man.
Why are you doing this to me?
A year and a month ago.
Some of those things are just so heart-tugging.
Why are you doing this to me?
Because some of those people are really that good. They really are. And it's great that they have a stage and a platform to at least do their thing. Like that guy who was in prison. I doubt he's selling any albums. But, you know, maybe he's performing at a lounge bar somewhere. But he had that moment. It's pretty cool.
Nightbird, Jane Marzeski, died on February 19th after a 4-year battle with cancer. And a statement from her family. That was last year. I was going to say she was 31, and I do remember that story from last year. So yeah, I guess you're just seeing a lot of curated talent.
Yeah. But again, I'm only tying it in because Katy Perry's in the news for being a mom shamer, and it's really not that deep, Dad.
It's not that deep.
A mountain lion attacked a couple on vacation in a hot tub.
Oh, was it you and Jordan?
No,
in Mexico.
It was in Colorado, actually.
Oh.
Derek Wolf wasn't there to save the day.
Damn.
But apparently, this guy's in a hot tub with his wife, and he feels like a palm on his head. Like, can you imagine that though? You're there, like, cheers, honey, in a hot tub.
Hey.
Oh, she's like, ah. Somehow the couple, like, so she started splashing the cat, and somehow they got away.
Does that usually work when you like spray a cat? It goes away.
The guy was torn up about it, but they survived. So,
Literally.
yeah. So anyway, that's just.
Is there video?
Be careful. Be careful in a hot tub.
10 p.m. on Saturday night. In
Yeah, man.
Chaffee County.
Scary. Just be careful.
The victim had 4 superficial scratches on top of his head and near his right ear.
Because it palmed his head.
The victim had cleaned the wounds and declined any medical assistance. The woman tried to distract and scare the big cat away with splashing water on it. Yeah.
Oh, wait. It was the guy from Barstool?
Yeah.
It wasn't a mountain lion. It was Big Cat. So,
I get it.
To wrap it up,
Please.
Ohtani is the biggest player in the world. The dude is a superstar, and he cemented that last night. We all know Shohei
I thought
Ohtani.
you were the biggest player in the world.
Nah, dude. I mean, maybe in the early 2000s, but now it's his turn and his time, and he struck out his teammate. And talk about manifestation and cool moments. They asked him, who are you most excited to face in the WBC? And he said, my teammate, Mike Trout, because he's the best in the world, and I never get to face him because he's on my team. And it comes down to him versus Mike Trout. Teammates.
To quote Ohtani, I'm the one that probably knows how great he is more than anyone.
Yep.
I had to give my best and 120% to be able to get him out. And then Trout said, You can't take anything away from him. That's Showtime.
Dude, Showtime was throwing, I mean, he dug deep. He was throwing 100 miles per hour.
Well, someone said, how do you...
Heat. And then it comes with a nasty, was that slider?
A very cutting slider. So someone said last night, almost impossible. And that's why DeGrom, who's now on the Texas Rangers, is so lethal. When you throw a 102 mile an hour fastball and then follow it up with like an 89 mile an hour cutter, it's virtually impossible to hit. That's why
Cutter.
Cutter. The guy that made the cutter famous. Your boy right there, Mariano Rivera.
But man, we saw a guy at his best on the biggest stage, and he is the best player in the world. He's a phenom, as they said a million times yesterday. He's a unicorn. And what is he going to get? $500-600 million? What is this guy's value? We've never seen it before. They say Babe Ruth, but they made it clear last night. Babe Ruth did this for 2 to 3 seasons. This guy's been doing it. He's going to continue doing it. He's amazing. Yeah. And, dude, he was super pumped to do that for Japan. And it put them over USA yesterday. And you know what? Even Mike Trout in a loss was like, I really gained a lot of respect for Mike Trout after this, actually, because he gets a lot of criticism for being a boring guy. He said that was the most fun, the best 10 days of his life. Yeah. He said he had the most fun doing this than he's ever had. Took him back to like travel ball as a kid. He goes, everyone should be involved. And if anything, this should be a reminder to players that weren't willing to participate to say, you know what, they need us if we're going to compete with Mexico and Japan and other teams like that. We need to get our best players out there to compete. And USA played well, and it was a great game, but Japan won. So congratulations, WBC, a huge success. Rob Manfred already said that it's a go for 2026.
Yeah.
It's already official. Regardless of injuries, they could happen anywhere. 2026 is a go, and it's going to be even bigger. And hopefully guys like Mike Trout and Mookie Betts can get big star pitchers and players to be more involved for the USA to bring the title back home.
It's such a shame that Mike Trout and Ohtani are on a team that doesn't ever sniff the postseason.
Did you see that meme yesterday? It was like, wouldn't it be cool if they were on the same team? Because these were the two players leading their nation.
Two elite players, and they just can't not even a wild card. The Angels are...
Oh, wait, they're on the same team.
Jeez.
They just stink, the Angels. But amazing to see. It was so much fun, and the energy was real. We've been talking about it. WBC's over. Japan wins. The last win was by the U.S. in 2017. There was nothing in 2020, pandemic reasons. We'll see it again in 2026. And
ask yourself one question.
Get ready for MLB, because MLB's next.
Ask yourself this. What's the highest per year contract in baseball? What did Aaron Judge get?
I forget. But they were comparing it to remember when A-Rod got his deal, it was like $200 to $300 million, right?
A-Rod had 10 years, 250. So it was 25 million. So 10
that was like a big deal. And
he has 9 years, 360. So
when you're thinking about a two-way player, 40? The way Ohtani is, they're like, well, what's the going rate for that? It's a really interesting thought.
Well, listen, A-Rod got 10 years, 250. That was the benchmark back then. It was like 25 million a year. Now, Judge, my math is right? 9 years, 360, which would mean $40 million a year.
Judged MVP.
So
360.
Here's your question then.
What's Ohtani worth? And he's what, 28?
Well, short-term deals like a Scherzer gets like 42 million or DeGrom has like high 30s, but the benchmark right now is 40. That's like sort of the number, like 40. Meanwhile, like NFL quarterbacks are getting between 40 and 50, right? So if an NFL quarterback gets 45, the best one, Judge gets 40. I got to ask you, is Ohtani going to get the deal, or is he going to get the Rich Davis? And what I mean by the Rich Davis is when I was at SXM.
Does this involve a golden buzzer?
Yeah.
No. When I was at SiriusXM.
The Rich Davis. Oh, there's so many things that could be.
All right, let's see. What do you think the Rich Davis is? Go ahead.
Oh, let's see. Oh, I don't have the improv skills at the moment.
What's the Rich Davis? Is Ohtani going to get the Rich Davis treatment?
Telling you something in confidence, and then you go and tell everyone else?
Oh, that's a good one. The Rich Davis treatment. Oh, yeah.
Is Ohtani going to get the
calling you out awkwardly in front of other people?
Is Rich Davis
wearing a savage as fuck t-shirt?
Yeah.
4 days a week?
Are you going to get the Rich Davis treatment? What do you think?
Oh, snail jizz on your face.
No, but close. Is Ohtani going to get the Rich Davis treatment or not?
Oh, you mean like talk to with no social cues at all to end the conversation? Just keep talking.
Free roam with hot interns? No. What is the Rich Davis? Will Ohtani?
I know what the Rich Davis treatment is.
Will Rich Davis?
Should I explain?
Yeah. Will Shohei Ohtani get the Rich Davis treatment or not?
Rich Davis treatment, meaning Rich was the lead voice on the morning mashup at SiriusXM, but also hosted Covino and Rich at SiriusXM. So technically he was doing 2 full-time jobs, but got paid handsomely for 1.5.
Yeah. So like but
if he would have gotten...
No, he got paid because he was handsome.
We'll put it in small numbers so we're not giving up salaries and stuff. Let's say the morning mashup
was a $100,000 gig, right?
Yeah. Fair
and
enough.
Covino and Rich was a $100,000 gig, just to make it easy. Rich should be getting, well then, $200,000.
Yeah.
But SXM said, well, hey, you're doing that and this, we'll give you $150. But really, he should have been making $200.
Yeah. So like if let's say Stan, Nicole, Ryan, and Covino were all making fucking $1 million, and I was doing both of them, shouldn't I get $2 million?
There you go.
But they don't look at it that way. So I'm saying, like, if Ohtani warrants the money of a Trout or Aaron Judge, but then also warrants the money of like a Scherzer or a Garrett Cole, you can't give Ohtani $80 million a year, but he might get 60.
Like
he might get 55.
It's like the Chipotle double meat theory.
Spots double meat theory. You want me to explain?
Please do, Rich. I feel like it's your theory.
Wait, is this one of your sex moves?
No, it's also the ice cream cone theory.
Yeah.
If you go to Baskin Robbins or Chipotle and you know you want double action, like a double scoop or a double serving of meat, if you say it right out the gate, hey, what can I get you?
What gate? The one Dick Van Dyke crashed into?
Yeah. What type of ice cream would you get?
Me?
Yeah.
If
you were at Baskin Robbins.
What are there still?
dough, bro.
Have they increased the flavors, or they're still only 31?
That's 31. They're stuck on that number, bro.
Cookie dough.
They're big Mike Piazza fans. 31.
Do they have some sort of like salted caramel?
They know what they have now. They have
like a moose track.
I saw my buddy test it out with his kid. I didn't ask him how it was. I saw him on Instagram though. They have a chicken and waffle flavored ice cream now at Baskin Robbins. So
let's see.
Here's the thinking. If you go to Baskin Robbins,
that looks good.
Chicken and waffle,
Love Potion 31. That sounds good. Baseball nut. Is that what you had last night? We're watching the
baseball nut last night. Oh, Ohtani. Oh, Mike Trout. Oh, Goldschmidt.
Mom's making cookies. Yeah, she is. These look good.
Yeah, Baskin.
I gotta go to Baskin Robbins.
Yeah, if you want one scoop for like $6, go for it.
Icing on the cake.
Take my kids there, and it's like,
ooh, Jamocha almond fudge.
It's like, what? I mean, I just got them 2 little 1 scoop deals. They're kids, and it was like $12. What?
Well, share the theory.
The theory is, if you go to Baskin Robbins and
Benjamin were a flavor,
and say, I want a 2 scoop cone with cookie dough, they'll give you 2 measly scoops. Now, if you say
measles are a problem again.
How am I supposed to get through a thought if you say measles are a problem? How did that have anything to do with anything?
I said
a measly scoop?
Yeah, it's measles are coming back because people aren't getting vaccinated.
Measles are a problem. Save that for next spot. If you ask for 1 scoop, they'll give you a huge scoop, and then you say, oh, you know what? On second thought, make it a 2 scoop. They have to now match the first big scoop. Like if you say, I'll get double meat at Chipotle, they might be like, flimsy scoop of chicken, flimsy scoop of chicken. If you say 1 regular, they'll give you 1 nice big scoop. And they say, double it up. They have to then they have to match the first scoop. So never, ever lead with the double scoop when you're getting your baseball nut.
She do 2 separate contracts? Like, she tell him first, he's not pitching anymore.
No, but
I am.
It is interesting.
Now you gotta match me.
Like,
but anyway, it was cool to see Ohtani in that leadership role, representing his country, holding the flag. He gave a speech to his team. They all rallied behind him, and they beat the USA in their own game. props to Japan. Awesome tournament, and I'm really pumped for baseball season. You know, we talked about the timing. This gets me more pumped for baseball.
Yeah.
So
it is
now I'm ready, man. We're a week away. MLB, let's go.
I know it's a year away, but I am intrigued to see what the first offer for Ohtani is.
Oh, yeah, it's going to be
because
great.
the reality is if he has another good year, and I agree with Kevin, and I'm hoping this is a Mets fan, Steve Cohen, owner of the Mets, this guy has money under his couch cushions, like piling up and counting it for Ohtani. You don't think Steve Cohen wants to make the splash and say, Ohtani, come to New York?
He tweeted something out. He was something like, all right, now and back to the Mets.
10 years.
And back to the Mets. And by the way, I think I agree with you. Where was Pete Alonso last night? Pete Alonso is a huge advocate for the WBC. Because when Diaz got hurt,
apparently he was like 1 for his last 10, so they benched him.
Well, that makes sense.
But I was saying,
he said that was, again, he's been very outspoken saying, yo, this is so meaningful, and he was so happy and proud to be a part of it. But they didn't throw him in the lineup.
Yeah, I mean, like,
in a really tough game.
I would say to Covino, in a game where like a solo home run ties it.
Yeah. I'm surprised he didn't come
They
out.
didn't pinch hit him once or throw him in. I mean, Alonso is he's a big game player.
But he was, very proud to still be a part of it. Anyway, that was the Rando news.
I think if you get Ohtani for 10 years, $500 million, it sounds absurd, but I think that's sort of a steal. That's the Rich Davis, where it really is. I mean, not the money, but you know what I mean? Like, you're not going to get paid for everything you do. Like, it's like every job, not just me. You know, when someone leaves a company during a tough economic time like now, do they replace that person, or do other people just absorb their responsibilities?
Think about it. He's filling the responsibilities of 2 people.
But if he gets hurt, then you lose someone in your rotation and your number 4 hitter.
Oh, it's like buying the TV VCR combo.
Yeah. One of them's going to give out, and then you're stuck with the other.
Oh, you know what? Can I end on one dumb thought, and we'll go home? We'll call it a day.
Just one?
I said something to Nicole on this week's episode of Have Kids, They Said, which comes out tomorrow. And
Have smut, they said.
Have smut, they said.
Have smut, they said. Talk about dirty and talk about anything but kids, they said.
Hey, if you're caught up on all your Covino Rich stuff, catch
up on Have Kids, they said, where they talk about Nicole's butthole.
Yeah,
Nicole's butthole and like jizzing on people's faces.
Hey, when you're caught up on our show,
Rich's snail trails,
and when you're caught up on Patreon and Fox Sports, check out Have Kids, they said, because we're close to that threshold where there's like thresholds in the podcasting world, like so many downloads like add up to like a new level of advertisers. So hey, make it happen. Help me. I mentioned to Nicole, and her husband was in the background, I mentioned my Fire Stick. We're talking about how kids misplace things.
Are
And
we
I
talking
said that
about
I have
televisions, or is this what you call your package?
my Fire Stick. I said,
Yeah, I know what they're trying to say, Fire Stick. Joystick.
I said, we were talking about kids losing things. And I said, I haven't lost my Fire Stick remote since we put some tracker on it, but not because we have the tracker on it, because when you attach a fucking bulbous tracker on a remote, it's harder to lose because it's not slipping between couch cushions because it has a fucking thing on it, like a tag. We put a tag on a remote because the kids kept misplacing it.
More likely to be in the crack of the couch or the crack of your ass?
One or the other.
Yeah.
And Nicole and Matt looked at me like I was from fucking old times. Like, Matt said something like, okay, fucking 2000s. What do you mean 2000s? He goes, who has a fucking Fire Stick? What do you have? Do you have a Roku too? And I was like, what are you talking about? Like, how do you watch your TV? And he's like, I don't know, bro. My TV is a smart TV. And I was so baffled. I'm like, doesn't everyone have a Fire Stick or Roku? Because as we learned after they made fun of me, HBO Max, Apple TV, certain smart TVs don't have all those apps accessible. So I feel like, doesn't everyone need a Fire Stick or a Roku or something like that?
Can't you download any app onto a smart TV?
I don't think every
necessarily, but
Really?
also like a lot of the TVs. Think about it. It's running off your computer or your TV smart, but it is running off like whatever they can fit inside your television to run that. So it might not necessarily be as fast or have as much capability, but if you wanted to minimize, you're watching like 3 basic apps, then yeah.
But your Amazon Fire Stick also integrates with all your Amazon products too. So I find a benefit for it.
I look at it.
I'm a Fire Stick guy. I've been using that shit since the early 2000s.
It's not even the Fire Stick anymore. I have Fire TV with the.
What's great?
It's the 4K Fire TV stick. But I look at it as it's one little fucking USB plug-in and a little remote. It's not like I have some big equipment or something. It's like the littlest thing.
You don't even need the remote. You can run it off your phone. It has a full-on remote on your phone.
I mean, yeah, like Boston Sal said, I have a smart TV, don't need it. But I don't know if my smart TV has HBO, Apple, Hulu Live. Can I do Hulu Live on my smart TV? I feel like that's another reason why I have so Hulu Live, Amazon,
I think
Netflix,
it's
HBO,
interesting though because
Paramount.
I originally got the Fire Stick when I cut the cord because my TV wasn't a smart TV, and then I just rolled with that and I never really even thought about it. It works fine. It works well. I got all my apps and
It's
that's
fast,
what I use.
and they're like $30 at Target or anywhere online. You buy it on Amazon. It's an Amazon Fire Stick. But am I a quote old guy for having a Fire Stick?
I'd never thought about it until you mentioned it. But I get what they're saying though. Yeah, like why would you need it if your smart TV does all that? And I was like, well, does your smart TV work through Wi-Fi?
Yeah.
Yeah, it does. Man,
And then I started thinking like, why do I have a Fire Stick?
Yeah, is that an obsolete thing if your TV is next level updated? I don't know.
Let's see.
I use it.
Let's see. Lonnie says he has 2 Fire Sticks, but look at this. All my TVs are smart, and I still have a Fire Stick. That's what EJ says. I'm with you. I use. I
got 3 or 4.
Let's see. LG has all those apps. No Fire TV needed. I like Fire Stick better than Roku. My sister has Roku, and she seems to like it. But is that a like if it would a teenager or a 20-year-old be like, oh my God, you're 40-something, you have a Fire Stick? All right, old guy. It's like, is that
my daughter uses she never brought it up. I never thought of it. But I get it. Like I understand because they probably never had the need for one. So they never naturally just ran with it.
Yeah, my
like I had a shitty TV probably. It wasn't a smart TV. So I needed the Fire Stick. And then I just continued using it. I think they probably just transitioned right to smart TV and went with that. I don't know.
Let's call it a day. I just feel like what you were just saying, like what we were saying earlier, like made sense to me. Like that all the things aren't on a smart TV. Like Apple TV, like I don't think Apple TV's on my Samsung or something.
Can't you download it though? I don't know.
I don't know.
Well, hey, I got shout outs to give. Fred Jimenez. All the Freds. Farmer Fred. Fred Jimenez. Brett Maxwell House. Brett Maxwell in the house. Kurt, I want to kiss you. Kurt, I want to kiss you. What up, Curtis Kish? Rebecca Dickerson. Eric Reiskamp. Eric Reiskamp. Chris Rucker, the all-night most sucker. Lonely Trucker. And, of course,
Pete Nice.
June Tao.
Oh, hi, Pete Nice.
Pete Nice, June Tao. Matt Deedy. Thank you guys for being here. All the Bannisters. Adam Bannister.
What about Steve Musso?
He's a good guy.
And Penny Moss.
Penny Moss is in my dreams.
And Barbara Fox.
Heart. Who?
And Barbara Fox.
Oh.
And Mike Velasco.
Well, thank you guys. Appreciate you all. Thank you for being here. Hopefully you enjoyed our Way Back Wednesday show. Tomorrow we throw it back. And join us on Fox Sports Radio later today. Free podcast. Just search Covino and Rich wherever you stream and subscribe for free and enjoy our sports nonsense. We'll talk more about the WBC there. Have a great one.
Arrivederci, baby.
See you in the promised land.
Goodbye.